I don't know if I've ever done that. Do
That's
they
the
have a
second
breakfast?
time.
Do they have a
That's the
breakfast?
second time in 24 hours that I've had Taco Bell for breakfast.
Welcome to the podcast, everybody. We're talking about Taco Bell for breakfast. All right, so what is their breakfast menu?
It's honestly the worst breakfast burritos you could ever have. They're fine, but they don't like sauce them, you know.
How do you
And
not
can I say
sauce a
my
burrito?
biggest? Well, this is my biggest pet peeve with almost every Mexican restaurant, every burrito place. They
Okay.
don't sauce their burritos if you go get them. There are some places that do, but for the most part, they'll give you salsa on the side. And I'm like, can you put salsa on the burrito? And they're like, we'll give it to you on the side. I'm like, I don't
What?
want to have to open the burrito and sauce the whole thing. Like, yeah, pico de gallo is kind of wet and stuff like that, but I want like a hot sauce in the
Yeah.
burrito.
Yeah. That's
They
so
don't do
weird.
it. Almost very few places do it, but you know who does do it?
Who's that?
Safeway breakfast burritos at their
Ooh.
deli. They'll put delicious chipotle sauce in your burrito for you.
I've never had a Safeway burrito. So I'm blessed because in Colorado we have so many good Mexican restaurant options, and I've eaten a lot of them. And there's just some that are just like Santiago's, as an example, Chubby's. Like oh man, there's some of their burritos are just fantastic.
We have, I mean, I don't know if we have more or less than what you guys have. I'll say there's more Mexican restaurants and there's about equal Mexican restaurants to burger places, I feel like.
Okay.
There's so many that we have a chain called Burrito California, and we have a chain called California Burrito.
Oh,
So there's Burrito California
doesn't get
and
confusing.
California Burrito. And I cannot remember which one I like because one of them sucks and one of them's great.
yeah.
So I just go to the building.
Yeah, you guys, you definitely came in at the right time. We're talking burritos. We're talking all this. Oh, Mark knows Santiago's. I always forget that you're out here, Mark. Yeah, Santiago's is so good. So good. Tell me if you've been to Tamale Kitchen too. We have one near us that is just fantastic. So, and I love, one of my favorite foods is tamales. It's ramen noodles and tamales. Opposite ends of the spectrum, but I love them both.
I love, I honestly, I don't go to that many Mexican places. I like a good burrito, but outside of that, it's like it's like lower on my cuisine list
Yeah.
in general. And that's like sacrilege for white people to say, at least in this area, because everyone is like, we got 20 white people together. You know what? We all like Mexican food. I'm like, I like it, but it's like, I don't know. It's not my favorite though.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I like rice, beans, and cheese, you know, and like ground beef, but like, I don't need it combined in 10 different ways.
Oh yeah. See, I'm like, mine is when I have the craving, I have to have it, and then I just don't crave it at all. And so like I'll have like a morning where it's like, okay, for lunch I got to go to TK, or there's one, my favorite Mexican restaurant is called Los Dos Patrios, and that one I'll probably go there once every couple of months, but God, it's so good. I miss that. So I don't drink alcohol anymore, you know that, but I miss the margaritas because they have a flight. So like, instead of a beer flight, it's a margarita flight, and it'll get you there. It will definitely get you there.
That's good. I like, I mean, I don't drink either, but if I ever was to drink, it would definitely be some sort of like, it's like, I'm not an alcoholic. It's called a tasting and it's classy. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
I need 6 different drinks of different flavors.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So Sal is eating a burrito while watching our stream as a white
Yeah,
male.
burrito.
It
Like,
makes sense.
As someone that isn't like the biggest fan of Mexican food, burritos are probably in my top 10 favorite foods of all time. Like, I think that's really like pushing the whole thing up the tier list for me.
Yeah. Speaking of tier list, I'm trying to figure out how the hell I want to run this fight. I've got to do another SOS fight before it ends for the week, and I'm like, I don't want to. As bad as that sounds.
Did Kage even do a poll video for his
For Akechi?
for his Akechi?
I'm pretty sure he did.
Because I
have
never
to go
I don't think I
check.
saw it. Like, listen, let me talk shit about Kage for a second here, all right?
Absolutely. That's how we should do all these.
He does this cool stuff and he'll do like a poll video, but then I never get to see him use the stupid unit. Like, I want to see you do a fight with like A6, R6 Akechi. I'm not in your eyes.
Fair.
I don't play the game. I'm not in your guild. I want to see you do a guild boss with Ace. I want to see what this guy could do, because as of now, like, he's the only person I know that's maxed out Akechi, and I've never even seen him use it.
I'm hearing actually good things about Max out of Akechi. Now, that doesn't mean I think people should necessarily run out and pull him, because there's a big difference between having the character and having an A6 maxed out character. Like, first of all, $1,000 usually, but
Yeah.
but
I'm hearing good things if you spend
oh
$1,000.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah. I
yeah,
mean, it's
sure.
great. Yeah, I mean, so how many characters do we have right now? We have, oh, I'd have to count it out, but I mean, over 20 limiteds, right? Somebody in the chat, do me a
It's
favor and
gotta
count how
be.
many limiteds we've got. And let's just assume that you're on the good side of luck and you're only spending $800 for an A6 for each one. If you're a whale, at that point you're a Leviathan who's doing
I mean,
that
that's
many.
not even A6 R6, right? That's just A6,
That's
right?
just A6, and man, I don't think that's with an R6. I don't think you could. We have 41 limiteds. Really?
Yeah, I mean, the game
Damn.
is going on a year old, and it's every 2 weeks, basically, right?
Ah,
For
I
a new
guess that makes
character.
sense. Okay, so I mean,
So it'd be
it's
it would be
conceivable that
like
someone to
20
spend
something
50,000.
added. Yeah,
Yeah, I
40
mean,
sounds high to me, but maybe not.
yeah, I mean, think about if you're a whale who's A6 to R6 everybody, you've probably spent $50,000. And I know people that are that level of whale.
If I could spend $50,000 in a year, I could afford to not go to work today. I think I think or not today, but I think I could afford to not go to work for a little bit here. That's a lot of money. My
Oh yeah.
goal is to try to save like 10,000 of like that's like all my disposable income is like 10 to 20,000 a year.
Mm, mm.
It's like so.
I think
You know what? They're in good spots.
oh, it's 41 total, so not all limiteds, but still, I mean, we're still talking neighboring 30. I mean, I still think it would not be unreasonable to think a true whale A6 R6 everything is spent 50 grand. 50 grand, I would take 10 grand or so, like 10 to 15, put that towards a bomb ass family vacation because my wife likes to travel. And I would take the rest and honestly pay down a good chunk of my house. Like the impact that $30,000 to $40,000 on a mortgage could have is significant. It would get me that much closer to retirement. That's for damn sure.
I'm trying to think. Like, I'm curious where you stand on this.
Mhm.
Is a moral issue? Is there a point where excess spending on something that could be considered frivolous, but is like it's your money, you could spend it on what
Mhm.
you want? Is there a point where that gets pushed to the extreme where it becomes like it doesn't matter who you are, how much you make, spending $3 million a year on I don't know slinkies is like not immoral, but like how much good could you do in the world besides that? Is there
I
a point where
think,
you could spend
yeah.
enough in a like I even if I could easily afford 50,000 a year in a gotcha, I don't think I could justify it to myself instead of donating like at that point. You know,
It's it's an interesting concept because it's kind of the borderline discussion between like capitalism and socialism. And for me, I think at a certain threshold, and we used to do this when we had like a dual income in my house, we would donate a percentage of my wife's check. It just not because it was hers versus mine. It was just we just picked the bucket, right? It wasn't anything more thoughtful than that. But we donated, I think it was 10% of our income to the Red Cross out of every check, on top of other like volunteer work that we do and stuff like that. And so life is a little bit different for us now, but I think that if you are fiscally responsible and you've done all your necessities, you've taken care of, I think everyone should invest. I think it's dumb not to. Do other things that set you up for security in the future, because I think a lot of people underestimate, for example, how much health costs go up as you go older. Sorry, I have a background in this, so but I think after that, I think it's okay to have a fair amount that goes towards living the life that you want. And it might be frivolous because a person could look at my pinball machines and be like, oh, that's hella frivolous, right? But I could look at a Lamborghini and say that's, 30 times the cost of one of my pinball machines. And when you get into that kind of scale economy, somebody who's doing, say, 10% of $100,000 versus someone who's doing 10% and they're making $3 million a year, you're still putting a lot more good on a dollar for dollar basis. And so I don't think it's wrong to also scale your personal lifestyle up if you've, obviously you're earning it to some capacity unless you just lucked into it. But even then, there's arguments to be made. So I don't think it's like at this point you cut it off. I think that you look at the scale of everything, right? I do believe that there's some places where it gets a little bit excessive though. And Mark Cuban was actually talking about this recently, where he doesn't live a rich life. Like he has friends that have these massive mansions and have 40 servants. He's like, why are you paying one person to make you toast?
Yeah,
Like,
it's
that's
like
where I think it might be a little bit like extreme. But do I think it's wrong to have a house cleaner? No, I don't. I think that that's a good way to spend money sometimes.
I think this is kind of where it honestly, like, it's society's not going to agree with me in general. I think
Mhm.
because people would, in fact, I might even prefer to live in a society that doesn't agree with me because I don't want to be told how to spend my money. But there is a sense where it's like, yeah, if you have a bunch of servants and stuff, I'm actually not as against that because that is a redistribution of wealth to people that are like in a serving class, right? To more of a middle
Yeah.
class. Unless, so it's like I actually think that's like, all right, you're taking your money and it's when people hoard their money for like, and or they have unrealized assets, that are just like, oh, you're
Mm-hmm.
on paper, you made, whatever, $100,000 this year, but realistically, you're worth like billions of dollars. That's kind of where I'm like, what's with the dragon hoarding of the funds? But also, when it comes to like, I mean, I don't know. I guess I could draw it back to Gacha. I think it's just like at a point, I'm like, I couldn't spend more on a Gacha after a certain point, just
Yeah.
because I would feel a personal level of guilt to society for spending it. Because it's not even going into this country; it's going to a different country, right? It's going to like China or Korea for the most part, right? That's the developers for
Yeah.
like these games, and I'm sure there's teams that live in America that get like a cut of it, but beyond that, it's not even like stimulating the local economy. So, and I don't think it's like immoral,
Mm-hmm.
but I
Mm-hmm.
wonder if there is a point where, like when you say with giving, I like percent based because like when I hear something like, listen, when a billionaire donates $1 million, I'm grateful that
Yeah.
they donated $1 million to a hospital or whatever. Because like, thank you, that's a huge good. But like, it's not like a sacrifice really. Like when you have, it's like under 1% of your whatever annual something, it's like, all right, is it really? And then it's a tax write-off also, which doesn't make it free, I know, or anything like that. But
Yeah.
I that's why I like the percentage based things where it's kind of like a progressive tax bracket. Like I think if I was to live as I got richer,
Mm-hmm.
my percentage that goes to generosity would increase as well.
Yeah.
10% is what I strive for right now. And I'm not even close. Like I'm at like 4% or something, like 4% on a good month of donation. But I want to get to 10%. But then if I was like a multimillionaire, I think I'd go to like 20%, 30%,
Yeah. Well, and I think, and I don't think there's one end all correct answer, right? Where it's like, if you're making more than 10 million a year, you should absolutely stop spending on anything but charity or whatever.
Of course.
I think personally, there comes a level at which you could spend for fun, but I think you can overexceed that, right? Now, there's some people that will disagree. Like, I'm not trying to blow up the Kardashians, but I mean, I can't even imagine spending the kind of money that they do on a single trip, sort of a thing, right? But I think that it's I don't know if it's a guilt factor or maybe it was the way I was raised. I don't know what it is, but once I have the couple of fun things I want to do, I don't have time to buy more fun things. Like, would I love to have 37 pinball machines? Yeah, but I can't play 37. Having the two, I can get bored of one, play the other one for a month, and then play the other one for a month. Like, same thing with video games. I can't play 47 video games at the same time. So why am I going to buy every new release? And just scale that up to whatever you want. I don't need 3 yachts. I don't need 7 houses. I don't need blah, 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 blah. Right. And so I think just at a certain point, it's unnecessary to spend those things on yourself. And so then where do you put it? Right. Like I mean, again, I have a financial background, so I understand how to create generational wealth once you get to a certain level. Not that I have that level right now, just to be clear, but I understand the mechanisms of it. Once you set that up, you've theoretically set up your entire family forever. Set up someone else's family, fund a college, fund, I don't know, housing for homelessness. Like, think of something that can recontribute to society and make it better. And this is what pisses me off, honestly. I'm not going to go down politics, but about the distribution of wealth in our political system itself is almost none of it is going to serve the underclass that need it the most. It's quite literally the opposite. Like, and again, I'm not going to make this into a political podcast, but to go back to your point, like, yeah, with gachas, if I really was in love with the game to the point that I wanted every character, every maxed out weapon, etc., sure. Then if I had that kind of level of money, I would certainly probably invest in that one game. But would I do it for 7 games? Absolutely not. Because again, I'm not going to play them all to that level.
And I'm also not like, I'm not really a politically charged guy at all, actually. And I'm also, I don't consider myself like at all even remotely like a communist or anything. Like when I'm talking about these things, I'm not saying I think government should come in and regulate this kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I do almost feel like there should be there are things that just because it's not against the law doesn't mean that it's necessarily moral, right?
Yeah.
Morality and law are separate. So, but again, I don't even, this is something I was just thinking about. Like I was like, oh, what if I could afford to spend $1,000 a month on a gacha instead of investing my money for my future or instead of donating. And it's like at that point, would that be immoral?
Yeah.
And I don't think of course, whatever situation you're in, you're gonna be biased to think that's not the immoral. I'm on this side of morality. But I wonder if there is a line where it's like I was just thinking about someone like you said spending $50,000 in a year on a gacha game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is there a point where that becomes like I'm not religious, but like a sin of like gluttony or something,
Oh
or
yeah, yeah.
like where it's like, oh, this is excessive to the point where it's like you could be doing a lot of good, but at the end of the day, it's also your money. Do what you want. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
really of two minds. Like my American is fighting with my desire to wish other people were better to other people.
Yeah, when I think there's so many ways to look at that. And, I was just thinking as we were talking about, and again, trying not to be too political, but the new mayor of New York, he just instituted a tax on properties that you're buying that are above a very large investment, or you're talking millions of dollars, so not like an average home or anything like that, like tens of millions of dollars, where people aren't living in them for long term, because this is a way that you can, as a wealthy individual, shelter money, like buy this property, make money off
Yeah.
of it. And so he's like, no, if you do that, that's fine, but then I'm going to tax the shit out of you. And then he's putting that back into funding daycare for the city. And to me, I'm like, that's where I do want the government to step in. When it's clearly in excess and used for personal gain at that type of level, that's where I actually do believe the government can, and I would hope they would step in. Now, granted, there's not many that do that, but then to take it back to that individual level, yeah, I think it's always tough to bring it to our moral level, because morality is controlled by environment, it's controlled by economics, it's controlled by country, it's controlled by culture. And so for me to say something is moral, immoral, is only a statement on my own upbringing in my environment. If I was raised in Morocco, there'd probably be slight differences. If I was raised in China, it'd be slight differences, right? And so I think most people can say, yeah, like killing somebody is immoral, but the use of
Not in
wealth
self-defense
is
though, or
different.
something, or it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
there are
yeah.
even situations where that could be not immoral
Yeah,
potentially.
but like, yeah, if for me to, if I was going to bring it back to Gacha and say if I was the type of person that could spend $50,000, that would mean in my mind, my economic situation is probably 10 to 20x what I'm at now, and I'm putting significantly more than that amount of money back into the good of the world, right? So, it's not like an even, like every 1% I spend in Gacha, I'm going to spend contributing to society, but there is probably at that level of money in my mind, a point where I'm like, okay, I'm not going to wake up in the morning and feel like I did well because I spent $50,000 in a Gacha. I'm going to wake up and feel that I did well because I'm living a happy life. And I'm also now at a point that I can contribute back to society in a more meaningful way than I could 10 years ago. Right.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's like I was just my thought experiment for myself was like if let's just say I don't know, I have Elon Musk money, right? I'm on track to be the first trillionaire, like literally.
Yeah.
Like even at that level, I don't think I could justify to myself $50,000 on a gacha or $1 million on a private jet, or like there's a point where I'm like, why do I deserve a private jet when there's all these kids that can't go to college or kids that can't eat, or like people like I think that might be an internal personal thing. And maybe I'm just
Mm-hmm.
speaking as like maybe it comes off that I'm as some martyr, but like if I was in their shoes, maybe I'd feel different. I'm like, I worked hard for this money and I want to go to Mars and I want to live on the moon and stuff, and let this world go to hell. But I really just don't think that I don't think I could justify it to myself spending that level of money. And this is someone that's like when I spend like I think $200 like on a gacha like in a month is like a lot, but I think that's like totally within a reasonable amount of like fun money. But yeah, I wonder if I guess just I don't know if there is or isn't a moral attachment to a certain level of fun money if it should be used for fun at that point. Maybe if everything's in percentages, then it when it like it's like, oh, I only spend 3% of my money on fun money, and that happens to be $20,000 a month because I'm
Yeah.
super rich. I'm like, well, if you're giving 20% to charity and stuff like that, then like who the hell am I to say that you're spending your money badly? So
Oh yeah. Well, and
I don't know.
you see the argument all the time where someone's like, "Hey, I'll just pick random names out of a hat here. I'm not supporting or dissupporting anybody." So, they might say, "Hey, a Bill Gates could easily afford to put $7 billion back in the economy," or look at Bezos or something like that. They could easily do more. And I think it's always I don't think people always understand how much is already being put in as well. And the fact that this person can do more doesn't necessarily mean that they should or have to do more. I think that's where it comes down to some of your personal belief systems. And I don't know, it's kind of like looking the gift horse in the mouth. Like, if I only put in $1,000 in the charities this year, personally, right? Somebody could look at me and be like, "Oh, you could have done 2,000. You could have skipped the family trip and done
Yeah.
20,000, or whatever. I'm making up numbers here." And it's like, yes, those are all true statements, but there's also, I think, the balance of, yeah, you do earn these things, and there is a level of, hey, I did work hard to get to this level, because I could also work way less hard, not make that money at all, not worry about the trip because I was just going to donate anyways, and not donate, and then I have more free time to just screw around, right? So like, there's always like an element in there. So I don't know. It's a very tricky slope. It's actually a really interesting question, though. I'm glad you brought it up, because it's super interesting.
I have two quick additions.
Mm-hmm.
One is like, I don't even think the government should tax these rich people more necessarily, because we have a progressive tax bracket. Maybe on assets, like unrealized assets,
Yes.
maybe there should be something there, I suppose. But like in general, I'm not necessarily for more taxation in general. I'm more for like a social contract of giving more, because I want, like, if you give the government $20, you get like $1 of output. It's not an efficient machine. It is a machine. It is a necessary machine, and does a lot of good stuff, and it forces rules and stuff. But it's not like, if you can give money directly to people that need it, or some charity that can disperse the funds in an efficient way, it's much better than giving money directly to government.
Oh, yeah.
Where a lot of it. So like, I'm not necessarily for more taxes, but I am. But if people won't follow a social contract, then maybe that kind of stuff is needed. But secondly, I want to say is, you have to be very careful if of nickel and diming yourself. It's always possible. Like I had this exact thought last night in bed. I was talking to my girlfriend. You can ask her. I'm looking at my budget for the month. I'm like, all right, if I buy uncooked rice, I buy like bags of rice that are cooked. I microwave it for 90 seconds. Or I could buy uncooked rice. Like, if I buy uncooked rice, it'll save me about $40 a month. And if I cut out soda and I cut out energy drinks and I just drink water and coffee, and I make my own coffee at home instead of buying pre-made cold brew, that'll save me about $45 a month. So it's like, I could cut those out, save $80 a month, $85 a month. I could put like $40 of it towards my savings, or $60 of it towards my savings. I could give 20, 40 of it to charity and help another person have a couple meals. But at that point, I'm like, this is too much of a hit on my quality of life to get like that kind of stuff. You could always nickel and dime everything to the point where at some point it becomes unrealistic, and you do need to just like live and be happy.
Yeah.
And not feel guilty about living and being happy. But I also think sometimes reflecting, if you could do more, can be helpful. But as an exercise, don't demolish your quality of life, like, to just potentially help other people. You got to put this is the way, when you're on an airplane, right? You put on your mask first. Make sure you have your retirement. Make sure you have your your standard of living that can lead to a happy, fulfilling life, and then do what you can for other people.
Yes. And this goes way down into opportunity cost, assumptions and stuff like that, like a hardcore finance topic. But there is an actual rough formula for how much your time is worth. So it's like a personal hourly rate. And when you exceed a certain amount, it actually makes more money for you to pay someone else to do that thing. So like you talked about the rice, that's the equivalent of buying, like, instead of the big bulk rice, the $1 rice cup, right? So now you're only spending 1 minute to microwave it versus 3 hours to make good rice, for not 3 hours, but like an hour to make good rice and everything else. And in that hour, you could have done something else that earns, right? And so there's all sorts of like papers and things about this and studies. And I love it because it's going to sound weird, but ultimately, because of the way like our banking systems are structured, there's unlimited wealth availability in the US. Like, it sounds weird to say that, but it's ironically true because of the way that debt leverage works. And so if you can tap into that, you can actually put more back in by earning more. Now you're going to get to a point that you don't want to anymore, right? Like that is a lot of work. And, so I think about that. It's like, yeah, sometimes paying for conveniences actually makes you more money. So then you could contribute more back in. It's a very weird, it's a very complex topic. But, and the other thing you said is, sometimes it's better to pay directly versus through taxation. And that I agree with, because I'll tell you, like my kids' PTA, we give them, a certain amount of money every year. And then there's always these things that they do where it's like, oh, we're going to partner with a local restaurant and they're going to give 20% of whatever you spend at that restaurant back to the school. I'm like, well, that's cool. So I could take my 5, members of my family out to dinner. It's like $150 for us to go out to eat, which is why we don't eat out a lot. And 20% of that, so $30 will go back to the school. Or I could write a check for $150 to the school and they get all of it. And I don't have to do the hassle of going out to eat. Like, I'm just going to pay my freaking school. Like, I'll write them a damn check at that point.
No, you're absolutely. I mean, and just like as a personal, just to give it like context as well. Like, yeah, the opportunity cost thing is like if I get home from work at the end of the day and I save time by doing a convenient thing, whatever. Rice is like a silly example, but it's just like I do the rice. It leaves me more time to make a YouTube video instead of like sitting there making sure the rice is cooked. Or if I could manage to make my dinner really fast with like a pressure cooker or like a microwave, it gives me more time to do like but where if I end up doing stuff until like an hour after work, I have less time to edit the video, less time to make the thumbnails, where I'm all like more in a rush. So it could cost me money, but like I don't think it actually does. I think this is but it's not hard to extrapolate this idea into situations where it could as well.
So Mark's making fun of me because I said I'm writing checks. I only write 2 checks ever. One is to a specific bill, which they only take checks. So there's nothing much I can do there. And the other one is the school because they only take checks. So ha ha ha. And then Melissa also mentioned too that, when we were talking about the rich people and what they donate, a lot of them do it under, fake names or not anonymously, etc. And the prime example of that one to me is Keanu Reeves. He has quite a bit that he's like done individually, but he doesn't broadcast it. He's not looking for the recognition that he did it. He's doing it because he wants to do it. And I think to me, that's a big thing. It's like, you don't have to broadcast it because it reminds me of, you ever see those videos where someone's like, oh, I walked up to this homeless person and I gave them $500. And I'm like, you did not do that for you. You did that for clout. You did that for view chasing.
I'm very strongly of 2 minds of this, where I think both are true, but I want people to just donate out of the goodness of their hearts. And I want people to listen, just if you're going to donate money, just like donate money. Don't then go on Twitter or make a YouTube video about how good of a person you are because you did all this stuff. On the other hand, I almost don't care about the mechanism as long as people that need help get help. If it became a trend where instead of avoiding as many taxes as you can as a super rich person, it became about bragging about how much money you donated to like local charities and communities, and that was like your dick measuring contest. I don't care that it's all egotistical and that it's purely driven by self-indulgence. I care about the end result more than I care about the motivation behind it.
Yeah.
But also there's definitely it could go wrong as well, right? But there are people that do it just to make more money, instead of it just be so. I'm of 2 minds. I want people to just be good people, but also if someone's a bad person but they're doing good things, I'm like, sure, as long I don't care if you hate me if you treat me nice in a sense. It's like you're nice to me every time he talks to me, but he doesn't like you behind your back. I'm like, well, he's pleasant to be around, so I don't care.
Yeah. Oh, and someone was asking who you are because they're newer to the podcast. Yeah, that's our good friend Platypus. We've been covering game. Well, he's been covering games for over 10 years now. And then
just about 12, buddy.
Yeah. And I got started in Gacha creation with sort of Convalaria, and he reached out to me to talk on his show, and we've been buddies ever since. We've been doing shit together for a long time now. So yeah.
I have a good topic switch if we don't want to talk about this.
Yeah, I think I don't have much more I could say without getting into like super hyper economics, but like, yeah, I think we let's switch. Let's learn how to speak English. Let's switch gears and let's talk something else.
I am 100% convinced right now that I will be trying to play and cover Genesis Wars if it's not terrible.
Okay.
Because I am so effing bored right now of just like with like YouTube. I was like,
Yeah.
I need to make some videos. I need to make some videos on something. Like I'm gonna do Final Fantasy 12 videos. Like
Yeah.
I already am streaming it, but I'm gonna do like a Final Fantasy 12 Esper tier list, you know, like the different summons. And I'm
Yeah.
gonna do like, oh, here's the classes ranked. Like I'm gonna do like rankings and stuff and impressions on Final Fantasy 12 just to make stuff. But like Genesis War is like perfect. Even if the game like isn't that good, I know I could have a lot of fun using lower rarity units for like a
Yeah.
month or two and doing some tough stages with lower rarity units to make some guides. I don't know if YouTube wants to see it, but I know that I really want to just make something right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think so. Final Fantasy 12. First of all, I love hate that game because I think it was 3 times I started before I actually played the whole thing, and it does not grab me at the beginning. Not that, well, the story was fine, but the gameplay, like it didn't catch on. So I had enough gambits to really, alter my rotations and everything else. And then I fell in love with Bosch. He became like my ever in the party tank. He was a freaking beast. And then I forget what else I played there. I think the hardest thing with 12 is obviously going to be the audience for it these days. But it goes down into that whole, do you want to make a YouTube video for passion or for profit? And to me, it sounds like the 12 is your passion project of sorts, right? And I've,
Yeah, I mean,
obviously I went to a few of your streams, but
I don't even think 12 is like an incredible game. I think it's a good game. Like there's no doubt about it. I think it's good. But
mhm.
I'm not like holy, like, cause I was actually planning on, I didn't stream the first like 6 hours because I was not planning on finishing the game. I wanted to see how I felt about it. And then it did eventually hook me and I kept playing it. But it's a passion in the sense that it sounds fun to make those videos. Like I have opinions on the Espers and no one cares, but it's kind of just fun in general, just to, yeah, I do YouTube for fun, and I think that would be a really, really fun thing. Plus, but yeah, the game is straight up bad for like 4 hours. Like it's just like not good.
Yeah.
The story sucks. Like the story sucks. I think the entire game. I don't think it ever gets. And when I say sucks, I mean generic. I've seen it before.
Yeah.
Nothing interesting.
I'm gonna
like,
pull up Genesis War while you're talking.
It's very uninspired, is what I'll say. It's like, hey, guess what? There's a guy you meet in the first 10 seconds who's obviously the bad guy, and guess what? He's obviously the bad guy, and that's the whole game. It's like, there's no twists, there's no turns, other than you find out like in the very intro of the game, you're like, oh no, Bosch betrayed Rex, Vaughn's brother, and killed the Emperor, and then you find out an hour in, it's like, no, that was his twin brother. You literally find that out like an hour in. That's the only twist the game has, is it reveals it an hour in. So
I'm with you on Genesis War, but I'm laughing right now because so I pull up their website, and Gacha games, like usually the first thing you see on their website is some badass trailer. Their website sucks. Like it sucks. I can't even find a video on their website, and so I'm gonna have to go to their YouTube just to find a video that should be on their freaking webpage.
My favorite thing is like even with like Persona, even with Marvel Snap, like Marvel Snap's a Western developer, but like every time you go to like a Google Play Store, it'll be like it'll have these big pictures. It'll be like it'll be like earn fight war. It's like this is broken English in giant letters. Why are they always broken English even on like Western developed games? Persona isn't Western, I know, but
well, I would say though Atlas, they really push their localization and stuff so much. Like they really do care about having it sound good for whatever audience is listening and whatever language they're listening. Genesis War, I keep going back. I actually reached out to them on their Discord to see if they had anything about a content creator program. I didn't mention your name, but I was like, hey, me and another content creator buddy are looking to do the game, blah, blah, blah. And then I emailed, I found an email contact for, I think it's Line. That's the publisher, developer, or whatever.
Line Games,
yeah. And so I think people probably underestimate how many emails I send a week to random developers to see if I can't get contacts. But I was emailing to them, and I'm sure I'm just going to get ghosted. But I basically was like, hey, do you have a content creator program? I've noticed you have no media ramp up right now. Are you looking for anyone to promote your game? Because you know how it usually is by now, like a Vulcan or somebody or a Gacha Smack has like 7 commercials out there, and you see it all over the freaking place on the next Gacha that comes out. And I've seen nothing of this game. And if somebody didn't tell me about it, I would never have even known it existed, period.
I don't think I would know if it wasn't for Hockey's videos, who plays Sword of Convalaria still.
Oh, see, I got it off of someone else. I got it off of Zox. Zox-kun, I think, is where I saw it.
Maybe I did see it from Zox, but I don't know. It was one of the. I don't subscribe to Zox, but I know. I think you mentioned it. Maybe you mentioned it to me
Oh, maybe.
actually. I might be misremembering. But this game, I think this game is not going to do very well,
No,
and I think
probably
this
not.
game, I think the game is also going to have a lot of drama right when it launches. It's already predetermined to have a shit ton of drama
Oh, 100%.
based off their decisions. Just so one of two things will happen, because right now there's a pre server, right,
Hmm.
for Australia, Canada, I
Yep.
think, maybe one other place,
Indonesia.
um Indonesia. And so they're not resetting the progress.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. So either they're going to have a multi-week head start on everybody, and now they've nerfed the experience you gain. You used to be able to get to like used to be able to get like, I don't know, almost 10x the experience, or 5
Yeah.
to 10x the experience. So now it's going to take way longer to level. So players are going to have either a realistically 2 to 1 month, like 2 week to 1 month lead,
Yeah.
and then that'll be drama for anyone new coming in, or those people on those servers are going to be set to their own server. We're like, all right, now Canada, the Canada, Australia, and Indonesia is a server, and global will be its own server. And now all those players on the other server will feel like they got burned, because now they're on like the little server instead of the big server with the rest of the world.
Yeah. I think, yeah. So that's a big piece of drama for them is this. Hey, the way I've thought about this game is, first of all, I think the only well, not the only, but the biggest reasons I'm interested in it is it looks like a Fire Emblem clone. And Fire Emblem is like one of my favorite series. And so it's hard for me not to take notice of something that looks like Fire Emblem. It's the tactical grid-based combat, which that, or like how XCOM does it, is probably up there in like my top 2 to 3 styles of gameplay, period. Like I love Final Fantasy Tactics, Tactics Advance, like all those games that follow that or like a really solid turn-based system, like a really good turn-based, like I really love Metaphor's turn-based system. Like those are like my top end. I like that more than action combat, but if I'm going to go action combat, it's more side scroller like Castlevania. So it's got the gameplay. You guys can all see, by the way, now like what I watch. So apparently us. So I popped up on my own feed, which is kind of funny. Trent the Traveler and Pinball Podcast. So yeah, gameplay. It's got the the Fire Emblem, and I don't know. Like I'm with you. Like I kind of want to cover something I can cover for more than a couple weeks, because as much as I think this game is not going to do well, I think it at least will have that initial rush audience. But like I had a lot of fun covering vampire crawlers, and I did guide videos, and the guide videos did well for my channel for something that isn't Gacha, right? Actually, one of them's at like 20,000 views. So that's really good for my channel.
Hell yeah, that's great.
Yeah. And so do I think I'll get that kind of numbers in Genesis War? No, I don't think there's going to be a huge audience. I think, like you said, the controversy over the pre-servers not being reset / the advance it gives there. Also, I think this has been out in KR maybe, if I'm not mistaken, for quite a while. And so it's got like the foresight.
Yeah. I think it's got like 2 years, I think, already.
Yeah. And so it has everything against it from that perspective for me.
There's also not a PC client. This game will not be successful.
Yeah.
This game may make some money, but this is not a big release. There's no doubt.
Well, and I think like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of what their strategy is on the global launch, because there's no media behind it at all. Like there's nothing on Twitter. They came out and they're like, oh, we hit 500,000 pre-registrations. I'm like, first of all, you made that number up. Like, let's just be honest. Every Gacha game that does that always hits every registration milestone they ever make. Like magically.
Yeah. Whether or not they're real or not, like they don't release a pre-registration goal and then not give it to you, because it makes your game look unpopular. It would be suicide for the game to not pretend it hit it.
Exactly. So, when you compare like what was NT's at like 35 million pre-registrations or some shit like that. Like you're comparing 500K, and this is obviously far more niche being tactical, versus the next big, potentially hype popular game. And it's just like the scale's not there, right? So I don't think this game's gonna have a big audience. I could honestly say that I think that they're just trying to cash in a few extra bucks and another audience, and they're probably not that concerned about the global launch at all. They probably have their core somewhere else.
The thing is, if they could just keep it, like if they have an easy 2 years of this game, right? Because they already have content for 2 years, and then they just...
Has it really been 2 years?
I think it's 2 years, but maybe I'm misremembering. But then they just like copy paste it over. Then it's like the game will probably last a while, even if it's not successful. But I just don't like it has, like you said, it has everything against it 100%. It feels like a cash grab just in its concept to me,
Yeah.
where they're
Yeah.
not even spending on marketing, right? They're like, all right, this is for a niche audience. We already have all the content made.
Oh yeah,
We're doing.
2024.
We don't have a PC client. They're not. It doesn't seem like they're investing any money besides translations. Um,
Yeah, so people are
so
asking, yeah, Kage saying what last 2 years? I don't think so. I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't think this can grab an audience for that long with the current gacha landscape. I
I just don't. I think maybe it could because the people that like these kinds of games are like really loyal to these types of games. People like tactical games will play it
yeah.
forever.
Yeah, I mean Soda Convallaria has its super loyal following. I actually am bummed that I every once in a while I'm like, should I go back to that game? Because I really did like it. I stopped liking the way they were
Well, it's a
structuring
super
the
easy.
fights.
Yeah, well, as God, these are one of my favorite genres of games,
Hmm.
but they're extra bad in long-term gotchas unless PvP becomes a focus. Because when PvE is the focus, they
Yeah.
become more and more and more puzzles. And I like puzzles, but
Yeah.
they become more puzzles where you don't have the pieces. You know, it's like, all right,
Yes.
I'm missing a piece to this jigsaw puzzle, and the puzzle piece is either you have to pre-move like 80 moves while manipulating every bit of AI and rolling RNG on RNG on RNG to
Yep.
get the perfect outcome, or you have the unit, or you have like these two units. So like as the units expand, they just these games suffer more than like than Honkai Star Rails do
Yeah.
because this is a whole other element of power creep where it's like characters will start attacking from further away. Characters will now have 5 movement and attack at a range of 6 tiles, or they'll hit half the map, or the debug. Like I feel like these kinds of games suffer extra bad from power creep.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. Yeah, and
But it'll be so fun for a month. I just know it. I'll know
oh
I'll
yeah,
have a really fun time for a month.
well, and that's what I think too. I think like it's probably the initial whatever they consider the story mode, and maybe the first couple of events I think would probably be decent. I don't know how much of I haven't really read into the KR scene of this. I mean, obviously there's big tier list out and everything else. And that's the other thing that makes it tough too, is like if I'm not gonna do the research on the KR tier list and everything else, then I'm gonna be making my own, which I do anyway. And it's just going to be nothing but, oh, but did you know this character's coming out and this one like sucks after a month and everything else. And it diminishes so much of the fun with that foresight for me. And I just would not want the foresight. But I mean, to give them credit where it's due, I'm sitting here watching the trailers while we're talking. I have them playing, for the audience or whatever. And it really does look like if you had just showed me a trailer and said, this is the next Fire Emblem game, I probably would have believed you. Like if I knew nothing
Yeah,
else
no,
about this.
it looks good. The fights look a little smaller scale than I would expect from a Fire Emblem, but for
Hmm.
the most part, it looks like because I think the grids are pretty small, not
Yeah.
super tiny, but like maybe 10 by 10s or something, as opposed to like really really big grids. Um, but no, you're absolutely right. Like they don't
Yeah.
have there are elements that are simplified, right? There doesn't seem to be elevation. There doesn't seem to be like higher
Yeah.
up, lower
Yeah.
down like a tactics. The grids seem to be much smaller, but I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. One thing about sort of Convallaria that annoyed me was how big the stupid arenas would get. It's like I have to walk.
Mm,
It's 4 or 5 turns just to get to the enemy on the other side. It's
yeah.
like for a gotcha game, it's kind of a weird vibe.
I had
Um,
I just
but yeah,
realized I
I'll
saw Persona running.
cover this game a little bit.
Yeah, and I might. I think also like I'm feeling that hole of Fire Emblem. Like I this might be the longest I've gone without playing a Fire Emblem game. I'm not sure if
It's
that's just because
interesting.
it's been a while since they've had like a new release of a new game. Because I didn't pick up a lot of the remasters or remakes, whatever the hell you want to call them. And I am looking at Heroes of Might and Magic. I reached out to that developer as well. I'm like, hey, I would love to cover your game, but it comes out in like 4 days and they haven't given me a preview key, so I doubt I doubt they're
Yeah.
going to. And at this point, it's gonna be really hard for me to jump back into it. Like as a creator and compare with anybody else that's been playing it for like weeks at this point. So I don't know. So having this would be kind of nice. Plus, like, love it or hate it, my channel has a lot of people here because of the gacha side. And so being a gacha game just naturally makes it more successful in initial views for me. Not to say that other things can't be successful. It's just easier for me on gacha games for whatever reason. So I don't know. It'll be an interesting one. Let's look up.
Yeah,
Let's look up heroes. though.
Gotcha is like a cheat code to get a certain amount of views. Like the second I started covering Gotcha, I like even though they weren't as good numbers as like when you started, like it still
Hmm.
was like 5x what I was getting before. Like it just immediately was like boom there because there's people searching for this stuff.
Yeah,
Also,
yeah,
it was Dragon Quest Tact, which was a tile, a tactics based game
yeah,
just like
yeah.
this. But Dragon Quest Smash Bros is such a bad game. I hate that stupid game. What an embarrassment to Dragon Quest.
I looked at it, but it didn't have a PC client. And I'm like, I'm not going to touch it because
I
I'm
played
with
it
you.
for
Like, no
four
PC
days
client
straight.
kills
Like
me.
not I played it a ton for like 4 days. It's just bad. It just the
Yeah,
combat sucks. It's not interesting. The progression's not that fun. It's not fun to pull on weapons. It's not fun to do weapon banners.
yeah,
What like when you're pulling on Persona 5, you debate whether or not you're going to pull the weapon because pulling for the weapons aren't that fun. You're like, all right, let's do the weapons.
yeah.
I really needed to make the kit. Characters are fun. Like even though I wish games had less characters, and I would actually prefer more weapons being like, but in a sense, like when there's only a weapon banner, I don't want to
Hmm.
engage with your stupid gotcha system.
Oh yeah.
It's not, it's not entertaining. And then it's yeah, it's just bad. It's very sad. I knew it would be bad, and there's moments of fun, but I couldn't even get a week of entertainment out of it.
That's
Like I
terrible.
think it.
Well, and the pulling, like the talk about pulling in gotchas, I mean, it's such a core of the game. It's funny because it's like you don't. It's not what you spend the most time on. Obviously, the gameplay is what you spend the most time on typically, but when you go into a banner, if they fail at having that, that kind of almost like gambler's fallacy perspective of like, oh, I got to pull. I feel energized. I feel excited. I might get it. If you don't have excitement going into a banner, like you're kind of killing yourself. Like you're
it
shooting yourself in the foot.
every single Dragon Quest game that comes to the West fails immediately, like so
Why is
quick.
it
I think
so unpopular out here?
Dragon Quest Tact was the longest one, and that one started like 6 months after Japan, and Japan is still going, and Dragon Quest Tact ended like over a year ago at this point.
Yeah.
I don't even know when. I still wish I could log it. This is one thing I hate about Gacha games when it closes. I still have it on my phone. I still have it installed. I would like to be able to go look at my account and
Hmm.
see where my characters were, even if I don't have access to new stuff.
Yeah.
I wish I could still have like on my phone that save data saved.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's reason why I think it's not popular is because they just release bad games. Like Dragon Quest Die,
Oh yeah.
that game sucked. That game was so bad. And then they had the Heroes 4 stars thing where again it's 3 characters pulling on weapon banners, and that game wasn't very fun. Had an unfun gotcha system. Die had an unfun
Mm.
gotcha system. And then the new one, Smash Bros, is an unfun gotcha system with it's like the world's worst Vampire Survivors. It's like Vampire Survivors with a limp dick, to put it softly. There's no excitement or hype.
Apparently, it was soft.
Yeah, all the power is like almost like 80% of the power is from the gotcha, and like 20% is from in the runs when you level up.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, and there's only like 6 options, and you just take the same 6 options every time. Do I get fireball? Do I get wind ball? Which one did I get this time? I got fireball this time. Oh, next run, wind ball. I've done it 100 times already. It's not fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
When it's so funny because
kind
like
of crazy.
you've got such an easy template when it comes to the bullet hell survivor games because Vampire Survivor, like not that was the first of the genre, but it really did kind of redefine it. It really became like the master class of it. And so all you really have to do is start with that as your basis and then just layer something that's unique to you. And you've already got like a 80% winning formula. And if you want to layer that into Gacha, fine, find a way to layer it into Gacha. But to take like a genre and then pick like the elements and make them more basic and less fun, like how do you have playtesters? Like, I mean,
Like
how do you get that far?
What's interesting is I guarantee you that so Ball Pit is on mobile devices,
love
right?
Ball Pit.
And Ball Pit is free to play with in-app purchases on
Mhm.
mobile devices. So it's a free to play mobile like roguelike style game.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know how they monetize it because I had to buy the game, right?
Yeah, so it's
But the point is like I bet whatever they do, it's more fun than what stupid Dragon Quest is doing with their weapon gotcha, where all gameplay is locked behind getting lucky on a weapon, and that gameplay is still not fun.
yeah, it's so Ball Pit, the way they do it is on mobile you can play the first like pit itself, like that first stage, and you can only get a few of the characters and then you can build your base out so far. And so it's almost like a long demo, but then you can pay, I think it might be $10 or $12, and then you unlock the rest of it and you keep whatever you've already done, which I think is great. Like it's the same with like a lot of games on indie games. It's like you get this demo that covers the first X hours. And then if you like it, it's like an extended preview. You pay for it, you keep your save data, right? I think that's a great way to monetize games when it comes to that style of game. That doesn't want to be like a full microtransaction gotcha kind of a system like a Fortnite or something. Not that Fortnite's gotcha, but it's, micro-based systems.
Yeah. And it just, I just wish Dragon Quest had some freaking popularity, but it's like it's got to start with them making like, how is it impossible to make an unbelievably top of the line greatest RPG ever made, Dragon Quest 11.
I was going to
Dragon
say
Quest 8,
that's in my top. Like I love Dragon Quest 11.
And they can't make a gotcha game that isn't some stupid contrived, I don't know, mechanics. Like you can't do a turn-based RPG in the Dragon Quest world. You have to do some weird actiony. You can't do some it's all like you have to do some Final Fantasy 15, Final Fantasy 16 reinventing the combat that no one wants. Like every single time. At least in Dragon Quest Tact, I actually think that's like by far the best Dragon Quest gacha they came out with. My issue with the game is the same with a lot of gacha games. It's not even the content wise in that one. It's that the content got so hard, so consistently that everything was this giant, you hit your head against the wall with this mega puzzle of like every fight takes 100 tries and you need to land your 25% chance to debuff their attack because they have resistance but not immunity. So like that's where that game kind of started. It's like everything was like you had to kick yourself in the nuts like 10 times before you finally got lucky. So imagine the highest level of tower on Sword of Convalaria for every piece of, but you're under leveled and every piece of content, no matter how strong you are, felt that way. At least to me.
Thank you.
So I didn't like the way they balanced it going into the future. But that game was peak in so many ways. They gave free S stars, free max out grindable highest rank units. You would get 100% of their dupes, 100% of them being able to max them out, and they would be meta defining for like a month in like the content. Like they were very strong, and they released a new character every single like event. You would always be able to grind up a brand new character.
Melissa said she'd download a ball pit, but she'd understand it because you and I didn't give her any guides.
I think you look to you stand close to the wall in the bottom left corner, and then you look to the left, and then you win if you draft right.
I don't know. Some of the later stages, so it definitely becomes easier. It's like any Survivor type game. Like it gets really easy once you figure a couple things out, and then you get later into the game. You've like spent all your time like unlocking all the shit and like upgrading your stats. It was the same thing with Vampire Crawlers. Is once I figured out how to break the game, I can't not break the game. Like I intentionally would not use the Reaper character because he was so overpowered, but I unlocked him because I figured out how to break the game too early. Like, and it's so funny too, like a total tangent here, but I put out a short just to try to drive some traffic to my, my long form one where I beat the 4 Reapers. And keep in mind, I beat the 4 Reapers on day 1, all in one run. And so some guy posted a comment today and he's like, that's not even impressive. I did 16 in a row because I had the gold thing and I had 1,000,000 gold and it would one shot them every time they came out. And I'm like, that's cool for you.
Yeah. It's like, there's nothing, bro. Yeah. We both won, but I won in a flashier way.
I'm like, let me see your video. I'd love to watch that. That'd actually probably be pretty cool. Like,
I get lots of comments like that in Mugenics where I'm like, this is OP and broken. You one shot every boss. Like that's nothing. I can not only one shot the boss, but I could deal double his max HP and damage. I'm like, yeah, but who cares? He's dead in one. Like, I mean, at a point, it's like I get it, like that, but it's like, who are you trying to impress?
Yeah, exactly. It's like you win the Super Bowl. It doesn't matter if it's by 10 points or 1,000 points. You won. Like, I do wish there was more to that game though, because like there's other systems I could cover, but there's like, you don't need them. Like there's a whole system where you can upgrade and downgrade your gems to make them more common or less common. So you can take your shitty gems and make them really rare, and then take your rare gems and make them super common. Like you could build an all wild deck with it, which is absolutely broken. But I'm like, you don't need it. And so now I'm not feeling like I want to make that content because I'm like, you could just get 3 or 4 cards in your deck that are good and cycle them and be done with it.
Yeah, my thing about a game that I've been saying for a long time, I've said this since I was a kid. I don't care if a game is hard necessarily. I do like a difficult game in a sense, but I just want the game to be on a difficulty level that requires me to engage with its mechanics and not just blatantly ignore them. That's basically it. And like a good example of a game that does this perfectly is something basically like I would say Elden Ring. Like the game is
Mm,
already hard, but like I can't an average player, I'm not saying it's impossible, but like an average player is not going to beat the game by not upgrading their weapons, not upgrading their leveling up their character, not using any consumables, not using their horse. Like you have to pretty every time the game presents you with a potential system, like you have to engage with it for the most part to be able to progress at some
yeah,
point, because the game is very difficult. Whether or not some people say it's easy, it's a fucking really hard game, and I beat it like 10 times. Okay, like
yeah,
I over 10 times, and it is a really hard game. It just like you build up that immunity to it in general. But and then I'll play games like I don't know. It'll be I guess like Monster Hunter Stories 3. They're like, hey,
mm.
you didn't get the Elder Dragons with the super attacks? I'm like, I beat the game. I can't like it just like it wasn't needed. I
It's
didn't need to do that stuff.
there's very few games ever that make me want to do their super challenges because
Mhm.
and I know this about me as a player. Once I've rolled credits on a story, 99% of the time I don't want to play it anymore. Like my brain has moved on. I felt closure. I felt good about the ending or bad or whatever. And if it doesn't have something that makes it makes sense to me, like the perfect example to me of a game that I want to replay constantly is Chrono Trigger, because you can do so many different new plus games in that game and get different endings depending on where in the timelines you decide to beat the boss. And it's not like it's a super boss challenge. It just changes the dynamic of the story. Like you can do entire stories where you don't have Magnus, right? And so like to me, like it just fundamentally changes the game. Whereas if it's like I beat everything and then I can spend here, your Final Fantasy 12, their super boss takes 12 hours to beat. I don't want to do that shit.
Yeah,
But fuck that.
yeah. That's like old school with the old damage cap. Now
Yeah.
it's expected to be about 2 hours, but still, it's like literally hours of a fight. I'm actually excited to do that fight because it's like a 4 hour stream, so I just got to do it, sit down and do it
Yeah.
for like half the stream. But there is an element where it's like I also don't like. I usually if a game has like, oh, this is the point of no return, and
Hmm.
go do side content. I don't mind doing that, but if I go through and I say I'm just going to beat the game first, then do side content, it takes a lot of the wind out of my sails.
Yeah.
So because I'm like I beat it, so what's the point? What am I getting more powerful for? And that whenever you ask why in a video game, that's the beginning of the end.
Yep.
If you ask why you're doing something, you've lost because there is no reason.
Yeah.
You're doing it for entertainment. So if I'm like, why am I even doing this? Like I'm strong enough. Like I've just realized I'm not having fun and this is a chore. But just really quickly,
Hmm.
one of the games that I think does it perfectly is Dragon Quest 11 because
Oh God, yes.
you beat the game, and the post game is really the final act of the
Yeah.
game where the story continues. I think the story should have stopped there because I think the rest is bad, but I think the game
Peaks
is
right
incredibly
before
fun.
then. I'm with you on that one. Like,
Yeah. They just try to undo all the actual stakes that the game had, but
which were
still
good.
it doesn't matter. The point is it
Yeah.
pulls you into the late game, into the post content with like actually there's much more story here to do it, and you have to beat the game normally first to gain access to the end game. So I think that game does it super well.
Yeah. Yeah. But that game also is so fundamentally good that you want to keep playing it. And
Yeah,
that's
it's
huge.
like a top 5 RPG of all time.
Absolutely, 100%. I would not dispute that at all. I can't wait to see what they do with 12, which is taking effing forever to give us an update.
Just
But
just please Dragon Quest, please don't this is Pokemon's getting better now, but like I would
mm,
always be like there's a spectrum, and there's Pokemon, there's Final Fantasy, and right in the sweet spot is Dragon Quest. Pokemon never ever innovates anything. They've started to do better now, but
yeah.
like it's always like all right, Pokemon Yellow, Pokemon whatever, Pokemon Diamond, Pokemon, Black and White, Pokemon, it's like all the same exact game over, and it's fun, but it's never ever changing. And then Final Fantasy is like, hey, every year we're going to completely reinvent
Oh,
the
yeah.
combat system, the concept, the world. Everything's going to be so different. It's going to be unrecognizable other than the fact that there's chocobos and potions. Like
Hmm.
everything else is just like so like there's no core identity and unwillingness to improve, and Dragon Quest is right in that like not only is there a beautiful core identity and
Yeah.
faithfulness to the original where you can listen to the same overture from the freaking 80s in your game now, but it's even revitalized in a new way. The gameplay, the systems are all a natural progression and it's so beautiful. So please don't like F it up by going to Final Fantasy.
Yes. Yes.
I'd rather have you air closer to Pokemon, if anything. I
Yeah.
don't want you to really, really reinvent the wheel. I want you to give the wheel cool ass, flame paint on it or something. Make
Yeah.
the wheel look cooler and stuff.
I still think like one of the coolest things they did was with 11 where you could do it in the old school style top down or the new style,
Yeah.
and it was the same game. Like that was genius, honestly.
I honestly don't think in my life I've ever seen a game with as much love and care and put in as Dragon Quest 11.
Yeah.
The detail of the animations of the monsters, remaking the entire game in 2D, so you can play it as a top-down 2D old school Dragon Quest
like building
game
two
from
different
start to
games.
finish.
Yeah.
Not in a game. More normally, if they do that, like in something like another AAA game, it would be a segmented off section where you do a level. Like, oh, that was a cool level. We had to go through time, and now we're in the old thing.
Yeah.
Start to finish, you never need to play that game in 3D. Ever.
Oh, yeah.
That's unbelievable. That's so much love and care and put in. The dialogue that's only there. If you have certain draconian quests on, if you have a certain draconian quest, characters will be like, "What do you mean you're on a draconian quest? You can't buy this from me. This is bullcrap. Just take it." And they'll give it to you. Like the game is there's so much love and care put into that game. I have nothing besides faith for 12, even though it's been long enough where I'm like a little worried. They've probably restarted it.
Too many. That's how I feel about Persona 6, honestly, because it's like 10 years, and I want it to be a great game. I don't know a single person who doesn't want Persona 6 to just be like mind-bendingly amazing, pushing the genre forward. But I'm like, can we get something soon? Like, and I don't want like the trailer and then it takes 6 more years. I mean, like, give us the trailer in June and then it's out by end of year. That's I don't want it any longer than that. Like, for the trailer to the release. Like, if you're not gonna be ready by the end of the year, then don't show the trailer to the end of the year. Like, you know what I mean?
No, I 100%. And like I like Persona 5X, but like if I go back to where I was mentally and I think about when they revealed Persona 5, like you see the red come on and they have that trailer and they're all skating on the streets or whatever. Like that is like Persona 5X is a drop in the effing ocean of how much hype I felt when I saw Persona 5 and how unbelievably excited I was, how good the music was, instantly being like, these are some cool looking characters. I'm excited to see what's up. Then when I play the game, I remember like I've beaten the games like multiple times now, but still you're fighting like the big thing at the end and you're going through these palaces. Like that game is so freaking high octane good, which is one reason I've considered I've kind of pulled back on P5X because it started to make me like replace my memories of Persona 5 with P5X because I've crossed the amount of hours where I played P5X more than P5. And I don't want to like diminish how much unbelievably high octane, incredible fun I had with Persona 5 that P5X is just like not. It's got the coat of paint and it's fun in its own ways and I like it, but man, Persona 5 is so good.
It's so
people
good.
When Melissa says they haven't played Persona 5, I'm like, just don't, because you'll quit P5X. You can't go in the opposite order. You can't go like you can be starving and then you want to eat. I'm gonna call I don't want to call Persona 5 a shit sandwich, but if you're starving, you can eat like something you don't really like, right? I don't like Brussels sprouts, so if I'm starving, I'll be like Brussels sprouts. But like you're not full, and then you go like, oh, Brussels sprouts. Oh, here's a steak dinner. It's like Persona 5 is that steak dinner. It's better to be ignorant at this point.
Oh, hey Morgana, you're not too late. Yeah, so people are talking about what they expect for the P6 reveal. So here's my prediction: is in June we're going to get an update on P4R with a release window, maybe a release date. I'm thinking more release window. I'm fairly confident that's going to happen. And then I could potentially see a super teaser of P6 now in development because they haven't ever technically said it is. And so like a P6 in development, super short green logo because I'm pretty sure it'll be green because of the other promo.
Didn't they already do that for like Kingdom Hearts like years ago? Like
like 30. Like I was 12 when Kingdom Hearts 4 was announced. I feel like it's been so freaking long. And then I think, and Mark says this, and I actually agree with this. I think that the P6 reveal is going to be this fiscal year for Atlas, and I see it being in that December end of year time frame.
I just hope I just don't have any hopium or copium for when they're going to announce it at this point. I'm like, I've been pretty convinced every thing for the last 3 years was going to tease it finally. Um, every Game Awards, so it's like, oh, Game Awards where they announced Joker and Smash, so this is going to be where they're going to finally like tease Persona
Yeah.
6. And it's like, but no, they never do. But like, all I hope, I don't want the game to be super childish and in high school. I want the game to be, well, Persona 5 I think is more adult than P5X in general.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Not a ton, but like a little bit more. But I hope they don't go edgelord where they go too deep. Like, I already like adult stuff, but I don't want it to start where it's an episode of Breaking Bad where it's like, I've been addicted to meth for 20 years and a victim of sexual assault. I'm like, okay, come on. Like it doesn't need to be this over the top, but I do hope they age it up a little bit without going edgelord.
So Melissa said, I didn't even notice this, that P4R is on the Golden Week page on Steam. So that's interesting. The other thing that I noticed too is and you might have already noticed this too, Plat. If not, go do it. In Keymailer, you can already do a request for a P4R key, which is interesting. Now, I don't know that Atlas is going to be giving them out through Keymailer, but it's weird that they have that.
Keymailer always has the Persona games on there. Like Reloaded was on there, so Keymailer is always hype on that.
Yeah.
But they've always ignored me, or I haven't even had enough subscribers to request a key directly.
I've never gotten a key off of Keymailer. Like, but to be fair, I haven't really tried that hard.
And like, you can get a ton of keys, but like, it depends if you go like, oh, Mommy's a Succubus Part 2. It's like you'll get that key.
I'm only applying for games I care about. So
exactly.
Well, it's like I have 3 different developers that have emailed me. They're like indie devs to do preview content for their games, and I feel bad. Like, I don't necessarily even respond to them, but it's like a lot of the indie games I see come out, and it's not necessarily all the ones that have emailed me, but a lot of the ones that I see just aren't that good. Like, there's some really amazing indie games, like Windrose took the world by storm, and there's other ones like I'm really excited for, like Neverway and some others. But then for every one that I think looks good, I've already sifted through probably 50 that are just, I get it. You have a dream and I'm all for you. Like, I'm trying to be positive, but your game sucks. Like, I hate to tell you, it's just, there's nothing I want to do with it.
And for me, it's like, I get a lot of like random requests. It's like, hey, you want to try my game or whatever? Like, here's a key to my game. And I'm like, I don't respond for the most part, not because I think I'm better than them, but it's like, I don't know how to say. It's like, if I take this key, I won't make content on it because I don't cover indie games on the channel anyway. And besides that, I also just like, I don't want to take a key from you for no reason.
Yeah.
I feel guilty just taking that from someone.
I get so many where they just send me the key and I'm like, and yeah, it's the same thing. I don't respond to them, and I do like covering indie games. Like, granted, it's not like the biggest boom on my channel, but I have fun with it. But it's like, I don't know. Like, just because you send me a key doesn't mean I have any interest in what you're producing.
Yeah, and like they'll reference things
I'm
like,
game shaming. I'm trying not to game shame. That's why I'm not mentioning anybody from the comments.
Like, I don't know. I don't even know the game, right? But someone's like, oh, you play the Bazaar, so would you like to cover this? And I'm like, honestly, like it might be fun, but like it's not the kind of game I make content on in general. And even if I did, it would be like a one-off video that wouldn't get you any views, it wouldn't get you any sales. So it's like, I would rather, like, no offense, but you will not get the value of one key out of me. You should sell the key to something else, like or something. Like, find a way to give that key to someone else that will actually give you value, because it's just, people don't watch me for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Kagi says they won't even mention any of these games because they're bad. It's honestly, and so it's really 2 categories. One category is the game looks terrible. Every key that someone tries to send me, I do go and look at like their Steam page. I check out a trailer, whatever, and a lot of them just don't look fun at all. And then the other ones, like there's one I really heavily debated. I can't say the name of it because it would be under embargo anyway, but they're going to be at a specific show at a certain point in time. And that's when they're doing their big announcement. And I looked, I'm like, I probably actually would consider playing this game, but I'm like, the timing didn't work. And I'm finding that on the indie scene, I still have to be specific in what I cover, because I tried all those like 2-hour review series and I did quite a few videos on that. And I mean, I'd get like 200 views. And I'm sorry, like there is a limit for myself as a creator where I'm like, okay, I can only do so many 200 view videos in a row before I just don't want to make a video. And so I need to like still do the stuff that energizes me. And so there's going to be like probably more selection in what I do nowadays. And I'm more specifically like going out and targeting developers. I'm like, hey, I really like your game. Would you like to work together? So, if you don't really hit the mark, then no, I'm not gonna look for you. But also, yeah, I'm not gonna like burn you down, be like, oh, this company X sent me Y and it looks like trash. Don't go look at them. Like, I'm not gonna be a jerk, right?
Like, and I will tell if there's any devs listening right now, which is zero, probably, or maybe not zero, but
Yeah.
anyone that wants to send me a free game, if you send me a code for a game and I see one of the core mechanics is rolling dice, I'm not gonna play it. If I have to see another like,
Are you watching me roll dice right now?
no,
Oh my God.
I can't. But it's like literally, there's just like so many games where it's like, hey, this is a roguelike, and instead of a deck, you're gonna use dice, and you can customize your dice. If I see something like that, if I see something like it revolves around slot machines, it revolves around playing poker, it revolves around blackjack, it revolves around craps, some sort of gambling thing, I don't want it. I don't like those. I don't like those kinds of mechanics, says the guy that plays Gacha. But like I don't like the I just have zero interest in that kind of stuff, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah.
Like I don't like dice rolling roguelike. I'm not Northern Lion, okay? I don't want to play I don't want to play Balatro. No offense,
Dude.
I know Balatro is good. There's not a game.
What's so ironic is, so one of the events in P5X right now is you do all the Akechi stage stuff and you get these dice that you have to roll, and it's the little car and it just goes down a track, and whatever you roll, you land and get whatever the crap is. And I have, for the last probably 15 minutes, 10 minutes, I've been doing this because I had like 100 something, and it's such boring content. It's such boring gameplay that I just haven't been bothered to do it. And so I'm literally just sitting here pressing the button to roll dice while you and I are talking because I don't have to think about it. And then you're like, if your game has dice rolling, and I'm like, fuck, guess what I'm doing?
Like, and I want to say, like, and I'm not talking about something as simple as Baldur's Gate 3, where you're rolling for initiative and your attacks
that's a
are
different
based
kind
on
of
dice.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
D&D.
like,
yeah,
I don't know, like, and I don't want to call out specific games, but like, if I type in dice on Steam right now, dice, like, I don't want to play Dice a Million. I don't want to play Deadly Dice. I don't want to play Dice Gambit. I don't want to play Balatro, which isn't dice, it's cards. But like, I don't care about poker.
Everyone's saying they lost your voice for a second there.
Yeah. I disconnected for a second.
Oh,
but
do you guys have them back? Because you never disconnected from me, which is weird.
I did. I know.
Oh,
I
okay.
did.
Oh, okay.
But it's because my internet went down for a second. I could tell because I was trying to. It's all right.
Oh, okay, he's back. He said his internet went down. He said he hated all of you guys, and he just couldn't stand being on the podcast anymore. Oh, hey, you're back.
I think Bear's entire audience is all racist. That's all I have to say.
Oh man, I will say I'm very happy though that 4.0 is a few days away, because I really want to see this new palace. It's the first palace I intentionally avoided in KR, and so I have not stepped foot anywhere past where I'm at in the story now. So this is going to be all uncharted territory for me from a story perspective. And and then after the palace, the next patch, unless they change something, should be Persona 3, which means Tartarus, which is the roguelike mode where you get to play all the different characters depending on who you roll, etc., etc. And so like, two very hyped things for me coming up in just a few days, really.
You know what? I actually might replay for Tartarus, but I was just thinking I accidentally made a typo and it'd be a good game. You've heard of Expedition 33, right?
I bought it and still need to play the damn thing. I haven't played it
yet.
yet.
But you're aware of the existence of it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, what about Persona 44? Instead of, don't even do Persona 6, do Persona 33. Just follow suit. Do exactly that. That'll be huge, bro.
Dude, by the time they get to Persona 7, I'll probably be like well into retirement, like with how slow they develop these damn games.
Persona 1 through 5, and then they're coming out with Persona 33, and it's just going to be a straight up copy of Expedition 33.
Yeah, with personas. Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, I need to play that one. So Expedition 33, I'm only going to play one of two ways. Either 100% by myself, or I've been flirting, and quite a few people in chat right now are channel members, but so I've been flirting with this idea of members only streams where it's stuff like that, where it's like Expedition 33, where I don't want some jackass coming to the stream and being like, oh, such and such. And I'm like, great, thanks for the spoiler. Where I feel like people that are willing to spend money on me are probably less likely to be that much of an asshole, right? So I'll play it maybe with members, not the whole game, but if it's like a random Tuesday night and like the kids are in bed and I'm down here gaming, like why not just throw it on a live stream and chill, right? Um, or like I've got some ideas for the channel. I need to figure out a couple things first, but like doing like a behind the scenes, like if I'm just sitting here like building stuff at my desk, or maybe I'm editing, right? Like having people watch and chill that are members, but that would be members exclusive. And that's the only way I would play Expedition 33 live, is because I'm really afraid of people spoiling it. And the other game I still need to play through that I bought that I really want to play is Silent Hill F. And it's another one where it's like, I don't see any reason for me to stream it. Not even so much for the spoilers. It's just that game is what I consider to be a flash in the pan kind of a game, where it's going to be popular for a month after it comes out and then it dies off. And like, I'm not going to get a single view for playing that, but I'll play that with viewers, like with members.
Yeah, that could be. I mean, that's why, like, it's probably in the Final Fantasy 12 category. It was like, well, who the hell's looking for it now? But someone will probably be interested. That's a game you've talked about enough where you probably should play it. Those are the kind of games that I watch playthroughs of, because like I like spooky games, but I don't like playing them.
Yeah.
But that's a good idea for like, if you're going to do members only streams, that's the kind of stuff. You don't want to do the hot new thing, right?
No, yeah. And I try to ride a balance between like, what do I want to, because I'm not trying to drive memberships in a real sense of I want to make $700 a month of memberships. Like that's not what it's about. To me, it's very much I
mean, I do. I want to make that.
I would love to make that, but I don't want to push for that, right? It's the same reason I don't push for super chats. But it's like, but if you do want to support what I do in that kind of meaningful way, I want to give you some value that others aren't getting, because you're providing value to me. I want to give you value back. And I mean, I know there's the argument of, oh, I'm already giving value, and that's why they like whatever. But I want to give you something extra. And I don't do so many members early videos right now, just because of the way the channel's been lately. And so it's just, I've been racking my brains around like, what do I do? I thought about member only giveaways, but then I feel like I'm causing people to buy into it. And I don't know, that doesn't feel good to me. So I don't know. It was just one of the things I thought of. Melissa says just the paying jackasses. No, you guys are not jackasses.
How much do you know about Expedition 33?
Almost nothing, which is why I want to
keep
it. Barely. And I've honestly done my best to avoid anything beyond that. So don't tell me anything.
You don't even, well, it was a fun fact about Final Fantasy, where it's like, it has the same concept of a different Final Fantasy game, but I won't spoil it.
Okay.
But I'll say, if any of you guys know the original I won't even say, because maybe Bear would know. It's not a spoiler. It's like literally,
you say, if it's not really a spoiler, say it. Like, I'm not too worried.
No, it's literally the whole concept. In the first like 20 minutes of the game, you learn hey, what's going on in this world? And there, the idea is 33 is like the age where people are going to pass away, because there's a big thing. It's like 33. You're Expedition 33 because this thing's counting down and it kills everyone underneath that age.
So I saw that from the trailer. Like that. That I know.
That's in the trailer.
Yeah.
That is the original concept of Final Fantasy X, but that was 17. Is everyone that reached age 17 originally in Final Fantasy X died, and your quest was on a quest to figure out how to stop people from dying when they hit the age of 17. So
and then went a whole different direction.
So your character's like turned 16 in the game, and you go on not an expedition, whatever. You get your party of 16-year-olds, and you go to try to find out, on your last year of life, basically how to stop this thing. So it's literally just like that idea. Like, and I think that's really cool. I bet Final Fantasy X was a huge inspiration for that game.
I could see that. Yeah, I mean, considering the concept, yeah. I need to so if I'm not doing 100% like the side quest, how many hours do you think Expedition 33 is? Understanding that obviously I'm very good at JRPGs. I don't think I'll have an issue with the combat system. I understand how it works.
Let's see how much I played. I have 72 hours to 100% the game with all achievements.
Okay. So if I'm not 100%, you'll probably shave 20 hours off of that.
Yeah, give or take. It depends how much side stuff you do, like while you're playing. I think most of the time the end game isn't that long. The end game is maybe 5 to 10 hours.
Okay.
But I think if you're exploring all the optional areas and stuff, and you hit your head against bosses, because this is a JRPG where you need to do dodge parry mechanics.
Yeah.
Like you have to like quote unquote get good.
I don't want to get good.
It'll take longer, but I think it'll
Okay.
take like 50 hours.
Okay.
Is my guess. It's the game will probably just make you cry, if I'm being honest. I have a huge amount of issues with Expedition 33. I have a lot of negative things to say about the game, even though it's considered one of the greatest games ever made, and I think it is like an 8 out of 10 game. But I think this is one of those things where it's like people are glazing it too hard and overlooking flaws because of how much they emotionally resonated with the game. And I'm okay with that. But like, it's like the game didn't emotionally resonate with me with its themes overall. Even though I thought the performances were phenomenal. So once you're done with the game, I want to like argue about it.
We can have a digest on it. Yeah, for sure.
You'll be fresh in your mind, and I won't be, so you'll have an advantage. So,
okay.
But that'll be okay.
I think I can't decide. I'm probably gonna do Silent Hill F first, only because it's so much shorter. Because it's not like a big JRPG. Like
I think it's like a 20-hour game max, right?
Yeah,
like,
and I think it has like
F.
You can get multiple endings, and it's probably gonna be one of those where I get like one ending, maybe two, and I'm like, okay, I've seen enough. Like again,
and the multiple endings require subsequent playthroughs.
Yeah,
you have to do something from the start of the game to like get different endings.
Yeah, and so like because I'm really like I really wanted to play it, and I actually ended up finding a contact at Konami, and I didn't get a key from them, but it's funny because I just reached out to her, and I was like, hey, it's been a while. I really want to. I told her I was like I'm an older gamer. I've literally been playing Konami games since the 80s. I mean, they've been around since before then, and I've been playing on them since arcade. And I was like, I would love to be an official partner for Konami, for one. And if not, then I've played literally all but maybe 2 Castlevania games ever. And I'm incredibly knowledgeable in the series. Like, I would love to cover Belmont's Curse. Like, because not only is it, oh, I'm playing this cool new Castlevania game, like, I could tell you the history of who that character is, assuming obviously they don't retcon half of the story, but like I can actually bring other perspectives into this from a firsthand. I played the original Castlevania when it was in an arcade before it was even on Nintendo, like that kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we'll see. I don't know if she'll ever respond, but I get ghosted so much on these emails, but I still shoot my shots.
Oh yeah. Well, I just I followed your, I don't know, you didn't advise it, but I followed what you said, and I just requested Persona 4R revival.
On Keymailer? Or
on a Keymailer. Keymailer, his accent. Everyone, look at his accent.
The best thing is I'm glad you caught it, because I actually in the middle of that word tried to stop the accent, and so then it sounded worse than even ever. It just went a whole different direction. It's gonna be awesome if we get keys for that though.
Oh my god, I'll cover that, because I didn't play.
I'll cover it regardless.
Persona. I didn't play Persona Reload because 2 reasons. One, I had recently played Persona 3, and it felt like it was really a departure from that game. Has no definitive edition. I guess now it does in a sense, but I don't even think its definitive edition is the best. So it's like I feel weird about that whole thing. But Persona 4, I never beat the final boss. I did, but not like the alternate ending super boss to the alternate ending kind of thing. Like there was one fight I didn't finish, and it was my favorite of all the Persona stories by a not a massive margin, but I think consistently throughout the game, it had the best plot. Yeah. Even though Persona 5, people get mad at me all the time. And in fact, we'll talk about Expedition 33 when you get there. I'm not giving any points, but it's like, when I say I don't think a game has a good story, I mean, I don't think the plot is very good, but that doesn't mean that I don't think the storytelling isn't immaculate. I'm like, the storytelling of Persona 5, I think, is way better. The constant character interactions, the high quality voice acting, and there's like everything from moment to moment, the pacing, the way they set up scenes is like way better. But the plot, like if I was to read this as a book, I think the plot of Persona 4 is better.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I've always said I think Persona is my favorite, but that's largely based on the plot and a lot of the characters and just. I'm not giving away anything. The murder mystery aspect to me is just so good.
Well, that's the first. Yeah, the first thing you'll see is a guy on a telephone pole, right?
Yeah. It's like 2 seconds into the game.
I have my God, I can't remember his name. Ryuji?
Yeah.
Is it?
Wait, no. Yosuke, the guy with the knives. Are you talking about from 4?
No. Persona 4 Kanji. I think it's Kanji.
Kanji with the chair. He's my favorite character.
Yeah. I have. That's one of the only. I have like 3 anime statues, and he's one of them. And he has the chair, and he's swinging it, and it's really cool. I think I threw them away. I think I threw them all away, or they're in a box somewhere.
Okay.
But
I haven't played Tycoon in forever. I'm just realizing. I don't think I even really care about that game anymore. Yeah, no, it's the best story for me. Persona 5 is probably the best gameplay specifically. But like if
Yeah,
they
the guns add a lot too. The guns are actually fun, I think.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. I think that P4R, I'm really curious how they do it like with P3, where they blend certain things, enhance certain things, while still keeping the core story and identity and everything else. And I've always said, I know we talked about it before, but I just really hope they don't make it look too anime cartoony, because it's that game P4 is the atmosphere, like with the fog, it's got to be scary. And the fact that it was on
Yeah,
lower fidelity graphics just helped it back in the day.
and like the fog taking over the town, if you get like, there's like
Yeah.
bad endings, right?
Yeah.
Like non-true endings. You could just fail. The games all have fail states. And that stuff is really fun. In fact, if you play Metaphor ReFantazio, I purposely made a save and I just let the time run to see what every fail state was for missing a timer. Because it's like I want to see what happens. I actually had that on my I privated it because the video did so badly. I thought for sure it would do good, but it was you had to like get someone's head, right? You had to chop off their head. So I call the video "failing to get head" in in Metaphor.
I think YouTube might have
like
had an issue with that.
Yeah, and it's like whatever. So you get this. I did like record at some point all the fail states of Metaphor just to see. It's like, man, shit really sucked. You go to bed like, are you sure we're all gonna die? You're just like, I'm tired. I'm going to bed.
You're like, I'm out.
And then you wake up in the hole. It's like,
you died.
This whole monster army destroyed everybody. Like, damn.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully we get that, man. Kanji, because he is my favorite in that game. In 4. He's the only character that really stands out in my mind that I'd want an A6 of. I don't even care what he does. He could like not have moves and I'd want to A6 him. I'm not going to, because that's way too fucking expensive, but like he's like the one I'd be hyped for.
Yeah, you would need to start like now.
Start saving now, yeah. I actually thought about, when I was debating what to do with the channel, or well, not the channel, but with how I play P5, one of my thoughts was no pulling. I would pull for Anj. I'd pull for Navis, because Navis, just because of the game, you kind of need them. And I was thinking about legitimately not pulling anybody until P4 and then going as deep into each character as I possibly can. But I thought two things. One, I bet that still would only get me 1, maybe 2 A6s, depending on how far away P4R is. And 2, I actually like the original characters in this game. Like, I want to play Pinky. I want to play like the new Closer, the new Soy, all these other people. And so like I can't really skip them, because it's like the one unique thing about the game is the new characters. And I'm like, well, I don't want to not pull for fucking a year.
I hate characters are considered content. That made me mad. I all the way back in Dragon Quest Tact. They're like, hey, new content being added, new character to pull. I'm like, F you. That's not content.
Yeah.
Content is things to do, not things to spend money on.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I need to check. Did I buy my ASTI for the week before server resets in 30 minutes? I don't even know.
Better freaking figure it out.
I better. Let's see. Yep, I got the ASTI. Such a weird name, ASMT.
It's awesome tea.
Yeah, it's awesome. Exactly.
It's awesome tea, bro.
I have so many like City Life points or refill drinks, and I hate grinding City Life. I really do, because it's just like press the button, fast forward time, press the button, fast forward time. I don't know. It's after a while, like some of the grindy tasks just don't resonate with me anymore.
My least favorite thing, which maybe they fixed now, I think they did update it, but it's like every time my guy had to go to bed, I'm like at the watch the scene where he goes down, you can skip the night, lay down. I'm like, oh my god, just hurry up, bro.
They have it now. It's in the settings where you can skip that entire transition, and you can skip like when you go to work, it just goes to where you get your money. Like it's just boom, done. The end.
Nice. Okay.
So you no longer have to make crepes. Now, the only thing they don't do, which I think is stupid and they should do, is you know how you have the train ride where you can like read a book? If you have no books, you just get a random skill up. But once you hit 20 and everything, like that whole thing is pointless. Unless you have a book that unlocks something. And then the school, like I never want to answer school questions again, but I have to all the time. Like every single time you cycle a day, basically. And so I wish they'd get rid of that as well, because that's just pointless. Like I get nothing out of knowledge anymore. How many city days do I have? Let me check.
Don't embarrass me now.
Well, I mean, you haven't been playing, so to be fair.
Don't embarrass me. Yeah, but at one point I was really good. I'm like in denial. I'm like, yeah, but you remember my glory days? I had so many city life days.
I'm at City Life 485. So, I mean, I know there's more. Like, I could grind this out and get even higher, but like I said, I'm just honestly fairly lazy. Anj level 17 gives us gifts. And she also gives you schema points, which I didn't realize, which is good. So that was nice. I unlocked a bunch of schema points the other day.
Is there anything else you're looking forward to? Anything else that's calling out to you?
Game-wise? Yeah, let's see. Let me switch. I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to switch my screen. I'm going to look at... Let me... Where the hell is my window capture? So this should be... Okay, so this is still in Genesis War. Let me look at something, because Let's go to Steam.
Oh. Okay, I'm back. That was only 1 second this
time. Oh, did you die off for a second? Again? Way to have crappy internet.
It's not crappy. My girlfriend is probably watching RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh, okay.
Love you.
People keep asking if I play Mekarashi, and my Steam, like when I go to like click on Steam, it defaults to that page because it's in my search history. It's so funny to me. Okay, so what? Actually, it's SteamDB I need. SteamDB. So what am I looking for? The ones that I've reached out to, big ones. Oh, I need upcoming only. Damn it. Apply my filters. I wish I would remember my filters. So Heroes of Might and Magic, which comes out on the 30th, I think. Yeah, on the 30th. That one's, I still think you would love that game, man, because of the tactical side of it. It's so deep. Yeah.
I'm considering it. I'm in a weird spot right now where I'm currently on hold for like 9 things, you know.
Okay.
But it's like it's all coming pretty soon. Path of Exile 2 is coming kind of soon.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Genesis War is literally Tuesday.
Yep. Yeah, so Genesis War I'm kind of looking forward to. I'm going to definitely at least try it. As long as the Google client works. Like if the Google beta PC client doesn't work, then I'm just out. I'm not going to just play it on my phone. So I got Heroes, Witchbrick, which who knows when that'll come out. I've applied for a key for that one. I don't think that'll be your kind of game. That's like definitely a cozy life type game. And then there's Roamstead. Roamstead is actually pretty hype on my list. I really enjoyed the preview for that one. So that one's pretty up there. Well, actually, you know, I could look at is upcoming game releases. I was literally looking at this the other day. I can't remember what I looked at. So yeah, what's coming out? So Diablo 4, I was not a fan of their first expansion pack to the point that I didn't even finish the story. So I think I might do a catch up on that really quickly. And then I will probably pick up the expansion pretty quickly. I don't think I'll cover it because there's too many like bigger people like Darth Microtransactions and, you know, all the others that are in that genre that just, I won't get any views for it.
Yeah, I've considered playing it. But the thing is, even though I've considered playing it, it's mostly because I'm waiting for PoE and I don't want to spend like $40-$50 for the game. That's basically it to get the new stuff.
Yeah. What else is coming out? I know there was some other stuff that was coming up pretty quickly. Masters of Albion looked okay. I'll wait till they're like much further in development because it's early access. That just hit like 4 days ago. It's definitely in my realm. It's just, it doesn't, I don't think they've done well enough yet, to be honest.
Is that like not Albion Online? Is that
no, totally different? Yeah, no.
Okay.
It's Peter Molyneux, or however you say his last name, his like swan song game.
The Fable guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's his swan
song.
The
guy,
game.
Like young gamers don't even know that he's the overpromise, underdeliver like model, right? He's like,
honestly, that's where it kind of sits right now for Masters of Albion, from what I've read.
I mean, he had the big game was Fable, and then the second big game was that mobile game where it's like everyone in the world looks at the same cube, and then you break open this cube and one guy becomes God, and it's like, okay, what?
Yeah, did he win some money or something at least? Like they give
they won. There was supposed to be like you win like profit sharing in their new game or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Or something like that, but then like the game didn't really exist. I don't think they never really made it or something. It was kind of, you know, I don't know if it was like a scam or anything like that, but there was definitely.
I'm gonna check Keymailer because that will tell you what I'm interested in. Is if I requested a key. I mean, for what I can. So yeah, Dench Attack. That's the one where you're like Tony Hawk, but it's you're a train. It's ridiculous. Dead as Disco looks really good. Okay, so the other ones I couldn't request. That sucks. I'm trying to think of what else I've been looking at lately.
Yeah, because they have these limits, right? They won't even let you request unless you hit certain thresholds, right?
Yeah, or it's like they just don't have like you can follow it, but they don't have requests yet. I'm still kind of sort of interested in Windrose, but I don't know. Like I'm not going to cover it, so I don't know if I want to play it. I saw Enshrouded. I've never played Enshrouded, and that got like a huge new update, or it's about to get a huge new update, and so that one looks pretty cool to me. Oh, Nivalis. Nivalis is one I'm super interested in. That is supposed to get.
Enshrouded's fun.
Okay. Yeah. I haven't even played it. So I literally just kind of learned about it within the last, I don't know, week or two. Nivalis is pretty up there. Have you seen that one?
Which one?
Nivalis. It's a cyberpunky like style, but it's like a
it's like a yeah, but it just I don't like it. I hate simulation games. I don't want anything cozy. I don't want to own my own ramen shop, and I want hardcore RPG mechanics and strategy and death.
Yeah. See, I love management type games, but they have to be done well. I think that for every one good management sim, there's probably 500 shitty ones. Like it's so hard to nail it because it's so easy to feel good in the first like 5 hours or so, and then it just becomes monotonous chores. And there's not that many games that really get past that. There was a mobile game. I'm trying to think of the name of it. Came out a long time ago. I used to play the shit out of it. And the whole concept was you had like basically more or less a blacksmith shop. And it was like a fantasy setting. And your job was to build out the stations and then build like the gear and have like a tailor. And it had like a whole monetization system where you could speed things up, which I just never paid for. But you weren't necessarily the people out there fighting. You were the one supplying them. And so you had to manage all your resources, your money. It was so fun. And they really nailed it. And so like when you get that kind of like fun hook to it, I love it. And then Cyberpunk is probably my favorite theme setting, which is part of why I love Cyberpunk 2077 so much. And so if you mix the management part with the theme that I love, like it's going to get my attention at the very least.
No, yeah, I'm kind of like with you, or the sense where sometimes I've played some management games that I really like, but for me, like the pinnacle was when I was a kid and I played Sim Tower 2000 or whatever. I'm like Sim Tower. No, it was Sim.
Okay,
I was Sim Tower. Sim City is good. Sim Tower, something about the micromanaging of like that stuff. I don't know. Like I do like some management style games, but I'm really an RPG action combat Andy, right? Like I played Stardew Valley and I was like, boom, I'm going to speed run then I was like, I played and I finished the whatever it's called, like the town center thing where you give all the higgledies the things they need. And I'm like, I beat the game. Boom, done. What's next? Nothing else? All right, because there was nothing at the time. And so it's like I'm objective focused and I want to get it done and move on.
Do you like strategy games?
Yeah.
Like not just like
RTS?
Yeah, like big RTS games.
RTS games I like. I'm not very good because the people that are good at them are very good.
Oh, the people that are great at them are like they can micromanage keystrokes, and like there's a whole measurement for it in like competitions. And I'm like, I'm not.
That's why Heroes of Might and Magic is like good because it's like it's a tile based.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, because Warhammer 40,000 is coming out not too long from now, and that one's got my interest too, and that's a RTS.
Oh yeah. The new one at Warhammer 40K. Oh, is it remake or is it 40K 3?
Total War Warhammer 40,000. Yeah. I have not played Oxygen. I'm not including guys. They were asking about.
I'm not a big Total War Warhammer guy. I like it, but I really like a more traditional RTS. Where it's like StarCraft-esque.
StarCraft
you know,
is so good.
These are really good and they could be fun, but I always find it so hard to just like play a one-on-one match with a buddy because they're all like they're kind of like mixed the 4X game, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like it's hard to like just have some fun with a buddy or go online and do some matches with some fights unless you pre-make these armies. I like the zero to finish of like a Age of Empires or we all start at zero and within 30 minutes we're gonna have a winner, you know?
Yeah. Oh, you know what other game I'm really excited for? And I may have an in on this one is it Dawnwalker is the name of it?
Oh, is that the cool one with the cool? You're the cool ass
vampire.
You're basically you're like Geralt of Rivia if he was a vampire.
Yeah. It's like Witcher 3. Yeah, it's even from the director of Witcher 3.
The blood of Dawnwalker.
Yeah, the blood of
Dawnwalker.
Dawnwalker. So I'm a content creator for Bandai Namco. I'm like in their program, and so if this one gets early access key, I'm 100% going for this one. This game looks peak to me, dude. Seriously,
it looks really good.
It looks so good, dude. Have you applied for Bandai Namco's creator program?
No, I don't even know Bandai Namco makes games I like, honestly. But
this is Bandai. This is Bandai Namco.
Bandai Namco. Yeah, but I'm pretty. They're no Atlas. All right, let me take a look at what their games are.
They have like
my nose is in the air. I'm an elitist gamer. I don't play. Oh yeah, I remember looking at this. Echoes of Aincrad, no. Ace Combat 8, no.
Tekken, you're not a fighter.
I will say they make a lot of games that I have zero interest in, but they make just a couple that I really like. I would have loved to get Digimon Story Time Stranger in advance. I'd love to have gotten Dawnwalker in advance.
You like Elden Ring? That's Bandai Namco.
Yeah, but that's FromSoft.
Yeah, but Bandai publishes it. So
yeah. They publish it. Yeah.
Yeah, if You're absolutely correct. I'm gonna check something. I can't show this on screen, but let me go.
No, yeah, they have a huge amount of unbelievably good games, and then like an equal part of games I'm not interested in. But that's what the thing is. You don't need to cover all their stuff.
So if you are in the program right now, the games you could get to cover are Tales of Berseria rematch or remastered, which I'm not. I don't care.
That game is such a piece of poop sandwich. I'm sorry, fans in there. I put it on my tier list is like dog water tier.
Yeah, there's Elden Ring Night Reign, so I can get the entire Elden Ring collection.
That's really fun.
Yeah, Ace Combat is specifically for people with prior experience with Ace Combat, which I technically have, but not from a creator standpoint.
Yeah, I bet the Ace Combat 8 is like, who's watching that if it's not like the flight sim guys?
Yeah, I mean, Ace Combat's a great series, but like I always just kind of played that off and on just on the side.
I just always want to crash the ship into the mountain.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
Like, oh, no.
See, if I was a fighting game coverage person, I could get Tekken 8 and then I get the new seasons early, but I don't cover Tekken. I like Tekken, I just don't cover it. And then a VR game, which I don't play VR, so that doesn't really matter.
Oh, they have the Patapon IP for some reason. That they must have bought that from Sony, I guess, or they. I love Patapon.
Yeah, Nino Kuni I've never played.
Patapon.
People talking about that one.
Ni no Kuni 1 is so good. Ni no Kuni 2 is one of the worst games ever created.
So the other one I'm looking forward to from Bandai, though, besides Sword Art Online, I am interested in that one. But I want to play it only in the death hardcore mode run, where like it mirrors the anime. Like if you die, you lose your character. Very much hardcore
is that
gaming.
Fractured Daydream?
No, it's the new Sword Art Online Anchored one that you were just saying.
Oh, that's Sword Art Online?
Yeah.
Oh, it says it little text underneath.
Yeah, it's like SAO.
Echoes of
Anchored or
you
something.
can tell that the anime is not as popular as it was. They because if the anime was number one, they would have switched it. It would have been Sword Art Online. Echoes of Aincrad.
Yeah.
But they switched it.
And then they just announced Xenoverse 3, so the Dragon Ball game. I played Xenoverse 2 for forever. They gave updates to that game for 10 solid years. And I'm like, good on them. Like, hell yeah. And so I've already, like, in their chat, I've been like, the second you get the part 3 keys up and running, like, I'm in. Like, I want to cover that game.
Honestly, yeah, I'll apply to this. I'm kind of memeing that I'm like, oh, Bandai Namco, dog shit. Who's ever heard of them? I'm more just ribbing you for being a part of their content creator.
Graveyard Keeper 2, I'm looking forward to. It's another like Stardew Valley type though. That Grave Seasons is up there, Neverway's up there for me. So there's a lot of like more indies, like half comfort, half. It's hard to say actiony. It's almost like Legend of Zelda walking around punching things, but whatever. Like I like that style of game, and especially because like I could play it for 100 hours and never play it again. Weirdly enough, like I tried to do another playthrough of Stardew Valley recently. I'm just like, I had my fill of it. Like I had a good time,
I'm
whatever.
so like my girlfriend is her favorite game of all time. She finally got perfection,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
which is so you can go to the top of the mountain or whatever. And then she got perfection like the week before we went to the Stardew Valley live concert,
Yeah.
and that was really cool. And the developer was there. He came on stage and made a speech or whatever for his concert or whatever. That was like, man, Stardew Valley. And he's like, I'm gonna make more content for Stardew Valley for the next 10 years, 20 years. As long as people are playing the game,
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep making updates to
I
it.
just
Like,
wanted to release his new
yeah.
game, Haunted Chocolatier. Like that's the one I'm looking
It
forward to.
it's still a couple of years away, I think,
Yeah.
but he is working on it like actively. But then he just added the ability to marry, I think. Who can you marry in Stardew Valley now? Cliff?
I love.
Clint?
No, I thought Clint. Oh, Clint's like his wife died or something, didn't he? What's up, CJ? See, CJ. So NTE. I get so torn on effing NTE. So CJ, I watched a
I
couple of
don't.
your videos, by the way. Good job on those. So every time I watch someone else's video like CJ's, I'm like, oh, maybe they did some more improvements, and I'd want to play it again. And then I just remember, like, it just didn't resonate well enough for me in the last beta that I did or whatever. But then on the other side, like I do like the landscape, I do like the driving around, but then it's like the management piece of it wasn't quite as good as I wanted it to be. The combat was like good enough, but not great. Like everything was like it needed one extra level up, and I would have been like sold. But it's just like one level down from where I want to be. And so I'm like, well, then I'm not gonna cover it because if I cover it, I'm not gonna have the passion like CJ would have for it, right? So I don't know. Like I still like look at it, but I'm like, no, I need to stay strong and like just keep looking at these other games I'm looking at playing.
My well, no one's ever told me this, but I've heard it. If you have nothing nice to say nothing at all. And I always never follow that, but I will follow that right now.
There you go.
If you're excited for that game, I hope that you are absolute. I hope it's everything you want, and I hope it's everything you deserve.
Here's
But
like
I'm not trying to do that pirate software quote. I'm trying to be genuine here.
Here's one that I would love to play. I don't know that I would cover it, but Lego Batman. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that
Those
would be
games are
fun.
freaking fun, man. Like, and plus I can play with my kids.
Every Lego game has been legit. Like I
Oh
don't
yeah.
play a lot of them because they don't quite hit like
Well, they're the same
I don't really like
basically every time.
collect. Yeah, I don't like collecting stuff in general. Like I don't want to go collect all the golden bricks. I'm not a collectibles guy. That's usually what I ignore.
Yeah.
But it's like they're very high quality games for an audience that supports them. So it's like that's good game development and where they seem to respect their audience.
Yeah. 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 So I don't know. Yeah. So those are the ones I think that are most immediately on my radar off the top of my head. Would certainly love to cover some of them. It's just so tough because you know how it goes. Like if I pick up Heroes of Might and Magic on the day of release, I'm really 2 weeks behind on content creating at that point. Like it's very uphill struggle to go from that to doing something. Whereas like with Vampire Crawlers, I started with the demo covering that and then went like immediately. Well, also I got completely hooked on that game. And just immediately was like filming stuff during my runs. And so I do want something else to cover. And I'm really trying to find a way to bridge out beyond gacha games, not to be off of gacha games completely because I do like them, but like I have goals of like one day working with Blizzard, one day working with Capcom, one day I'm already working with Bandai Namco, one day working with Nintendo, and they're never going to give me a shot if all they do is go to my channel and see gacha games, right? Like I need to cover games in their realms. And so I don't know, like I'm still trying to think through how do I bridge that gap. And I mean, this is probably a very dumb moment for everybody. Like I'm sure you guys all know this because you're watching my content, but my videos do their best when I'm doing guides. And so why did my Vampire Crawlers videos do well? Because they were guides. They were teaching. They were like, this is things I wish I knew. Here's how to do this. Here's how to do that. If you look at my 2-hour reviews, they didn't do well, partly because they're just off on the side indie games. It's not like a mainstream game, but also like, if you think about me, I don't suspect the first thing you think of is, oh, that dude does a lot of previews and reviews. I don't, So I got to figure out how to bridge all this.
Guides are also just kind of like a cheat code in general, where it's just like you have people that want to know more will watch your content,
Mhm.
and people who want to disagree with you will watch your content.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's guides are just better than like let's plays. Let's plays are guides are semi personality driven, but it's remarkably low compared to something like a let's play. Someone doesn't
Mhm.
want to watch someone they dislike watch a let's play, but I might watch someone I don't like that has a lot of more knowledge than me to learn what their knowledge is, you know? So you can kind of you don't necessarily need the best personality to be a guide content creator. You just need to have good information, you
So
know?
so what I just heard you say is I don't have a good personality. Thanks, Plat. Thanks.
No.
I got you.
Why do you think all my stuff is let's plays? Why do you think no one watches my streams?
Yeah, exactly. There we go. We
I,
both have
I
shitty
have
personalities.
I have a toxic personality. No one wants to watch my shit unless it's specifically the first out and it's a guide.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
people tell me like, Platt, you're so funny. I don't normally watch streams, but I like watching yours. And then, the second I'm not playing a game that they aren't obsessed with, they're gone. And that's
Oh yeah.
okay. That's okay.
Oh,
That's okay.
I just caught a spike of subscribers finally because I've been losing subscribers. And for vampire crawls, and I'm like, well, I guarantee quite a few of them are gonna like unsubscribe here relatively soon because it's like, well, are they gonna come back for Persona? Probably not. Right? Like, what
Yeah.
am I doing that they're going to afterwards? And so I know there's gonna be like that ebb and flow. And so I was thinking about this. So do you want to hear my shitty camping story?
I want to hear all
yeah.
your stories.
So thank you, baby. So what was it, Wednesday? I was talking with my wife. I'm like, I had a really good time camping this past weekend. And the weekend that we're on now, my daughter had a bunch of stuff she had to do for like a science project, but my son doesn't have anything. And she's like, oh, why don't you and Bear, little Bear, why don't you guys go camping again? I'm like, sounds great. We got the camper. It's already out. Like, let's do it. So long story short, we booked the camping. The place is like an hour and a half away. We get up there Friday night. I set everything up, and all of a sudden we get blasted by wind gusts. And it got so bad, like I was taking videos of it. And so he's laying in bed. I'm sitting at the table in the camper. It's a pop-up camper, right? So it's mostly canvas. And I'm just drinking a cup of tea, planning out some content. And the wind hits the side of the camper so hard, it shifted it off the blocks. So if you ever like look at the front of a camper, you have like blocks that you put the foot down onto. It shifted us off the blocks a solid 2 to 3 feet. Like scared the hell out of us. And so I was like, dude, let's pack it in. Like, this ain't safe, right? So
We gotta go.
yeah. So for the next like 2 hours, I'm trying to pack up the camper and it was damaged. And I didn't realize this at the extent of the time. And I couldn't get it put away. And so I ended up just leaving it there. Even like a guy tried to help me and he couldn't help me. So I drive home. I drive us home. We get home at like 11 something at night. And then the next morning I had to drive back up there to go like try to like fix it. I brought all my tools and all this other stuff. And I get it all taken care of, but that meant I had an hour and a half drive there and an hour and a half drive back yesterday. So I spent 3 hours driving yesterday. And the whole time I was thinking about my channel, sort of like I had a conversation with my mom. And I was like, okay, I know that my best content and the content that reaches the most people, which tells me it's the value that they want from me, is guides. Obviously, you can do a guide for anything, but how do I get my channel to the point that people stay around because I'm covering the right types of games that need guides and that they want to play? Is it tactical games? Is it gacha games? Is it RPGs? Like, what is it that, if you sat back and you said, oh, you want this, go to Bear. Like, what do you go to Bear for, right? Like, what do you go to Per Platypus for? And I can think of other content creators. Like if I think about Styx, not that I really watch much of his content, but I know that he's going to cover every new gacha game. Vulcan, gonna cover every new gacha game for 2 weeks and then move on to something else. If I think about Happy Gamer, he's going to just have a saying on whatever games in front of him that day and people love him. Da Vinci RPG, he's going to cover RPG games. Like I can think of all these creators and I can tell you exactly what kind of games they're going to play and what kind of content. And that's why their audience continues to grow, is because they have a very specific audience. It's a niche, right? And so, so Shark says handsome face. That's all I need to be known for, my friend. So what is it that I can do in my channel that's the guides, but it's also like, oh, it's the guides for X and I can grow that way. That's been on my mind for the entire drive in there and then some.
I mean, what I do is like I just follow a flow chart for like my content. and obviously like I've tried lots of different things over the years, but
Hmm.
I basically have a priority list, and if I can't fulfill that priority list, I then go down on the totem pole another step,
Yeah.
where it's like I first care about number one always single player JRPGs like that are not just remakes or whatever.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll do the remakes, but it's like, all right, Persona 6 comes out, or um whatever. Like Starbites is coming up, right? And
Yeah.
that's like, is that even a top tier? No, but it's like it's maybe big enough. Metaphor ReFantazio, Octopath Traveler 2. These are games that I've covered that I'm like, and those always do super well. Then when that's not available, then I kind of have to go to the next thing. Like, all right, well, Gotcha usually fills the space, But once
Mm-hmm.
something comes out that beats Gotcha, like then I cover, because you can cover a game like Mugenics, right? Like I
Yeah.
covered that hardcore for like 2 months, and then I would go back to a gotcha, to kind of fill the gap because
Yeah.
I like making videos. But it's so I know that's how I would do it, but that's also probably not the most efficient way to do it either.
Yeah, and it's still not at a place to where I can talk about the specifics, but I have a very specific thing on the channel I want to do. But like just from a pure thought exercise, it would not work out if I don't solve this problem first. Right? Like it would probably get an initial like, "Oh, that's cool," and then it would die instantly. Like it would be like a week and gone. And I know it has the legs to be a cool thing for the channel, and it even like will spawn into things like live stream games and stuff. Like it's really pretty deep how far this particular concept goes, but it needs me to not just be gotcha, and it needs to be something where I can jump into another type of game and see. It doesn't have to be like crazy million views, but like see like relative success in the scope of my channel for this other type of game. And so I do think that it has to be, and I don't say this begrudgingly, I like doing guides, but I do think that it has to be somewhere in at least a level of guides for games. I can do some preview stuff. Like whenever there's a live stream for Persona, like that's not a guide, right? It's just an opinion piece.
Yeah.
So I think I can have like the mix of stuff, but it's probably like the 80-20. Like 80% of my content probably should be guides of some sort of fashion. And then 20% is in the neighborhood of that same game, but you're going to like watch it because you care about the opinion because my guides were so good, right? Or whatever. And so I need to figure out how to bridge that. And I do think I probably need to niche down a little bit better and not be like, oh, today I'm playing a side scroller, tomorrow I'm playing a cozy game, the next day I'm playing this over here, because it's just like, no one knows what to watch me for at that point, right? Like, is he a content creator for cozy games now, or is he a gacha creator? Is he a
Yeah.
Persona creator? Is he an RPG creator? Like,
Yeah, and guides are my favorite. That's what I love to do, which is one of the main reasons why I don't prioritize always games like Persona 3 Reload. Sometimes I will do stuff like that, but it's like, all right, if this is an old game, the old guides are still applicable. Maybe that
yeah,
game's an exception, but like, when they remake old games, or it's like where it's just updated graphics, I'm like, I don't need, what's the guide? Who cares about guides for a game that already has 10 years of
yeah.
already really high quality guides? So but no, you're absolutely, guides are like a cheat code.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're the best thing to make.
Well, they're
The only
searchable.
issue is you need to know what you're talking about. And
Yes.
so it means there needs to have a game that's worthy of guides, where it's not
Yeah,
too
you don't really need
shallow.
a guide for like the next Super Mario Brothers. Like, and CJ says it too, and I've talked about this too. He says I unironically think timing matters a lot when pushing out of somewhere, and that's 100% true. Like, if I did my Vampire Crawlers guides today, I can promise you they wouldn't get half of the views they have right now because
Yeah, timing is super
yeah,
important.
yeah, you get that initial hype, the initial rush. The reason CJ is going to crush it in NT, besides his passion and the fact that he's been playing a redonkulous amount of hours into it, is because he's got the upslope before the game launches. And I mean, I'm not saying anything CJ doesn't know, right? Like if you are making the content before people want it, when they want it, you're already there. If you make it after they want it, you've already missed the bus. And so he's going to freaking crush it on NT. He's probably going to be one of the top NT creators. And so, and honestly, CJ, I believe that. And it was the same, like, why did I launch my Persona 5 content when I did? Because I knew I wanted to be ahead of Global's launch so I could get views. Like, let's just be honest, it was a strategy, right? And so,
Well, and yeah, you became you're the biggest content creator in Persona 5 that I know, even at launch. Like there were some like super big guys that I wasn't aware of, but like for the most part, you were like the resource because you have the previous KR experience, and you're also relevant making guides today about our version based off your knowledge. So it's like,
Hmm.
what's who replaces that? I don't think anyone had as much experience as you.
Well, now you get others though, like farmers markets coming up in the world. I've left a big gap because I don't really make so many character guides anymore, and so like others have stepped in, like farmers market, to fill those shoes, which I'm fine with. Like I can't make guides first of all if I don't have the character. So like Akechi can't make a guy, I don't have the character. But
Well,
it's also
but
like
also
I don't always
launch
enjoy doing them.
launch is a bigger deal. Like
Oh
that,
yeah,
you're
yeah,
still
yeah.
like, even if you release like a bullshit video, I think for Persona, like it's gonna do better than a random video for like a gotcha game, or
Oh
for like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
sorry, an indie game. Just because
Sure.
like, whether or not like we want it, people put up, we only have so much control over the box we put ourselves in, or we get
Hmm.
put in, right? Like Daniel Radcliffe can do everything in the world and people are still going to think of him as Harry Potter, and
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Elijah Wood's going to be Frodo. And that's not to say they can't get other stuff. Like, there might be a part of you that's always the Persona 5 guy or something,
Yeah.
but like
Which
you could also break out of that and do more stuff in general.
yeah, and I think like there's some obvious natural bridges. Like when P4R comes out, like that's a very obvious bridge for me and you, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're Persona. We know those games. We've played those games. It makes sense that we play them. Now, obviously, you're gonna have like Faz out there who's gonna get a million views just for tweeting about it, but he doesn't necessarily make guides for the games. And I will very much be making guides for P4R. There's no doubt I will. And then same thing, P6 comes out in 14 to 15 years from now. I will still be there old as hell making guides for the game. So like that's like, I don't think anyone would be shocked to see me cover Persona or an Atlas adjacent product at that point.
100%. Plus, like anything that's in the wheelhouse of just turn-based, like RPGs in general, like people will, I think they would watch your guides on it,
Mm-hmm.
because your audience has a lot of crossover with that kind of stuff in general. I don't know the crossover between, like, for example, I'm gonna play Genesis War probably.
Yeah.
That crossover with Mugenics, even though they're both tile-based games, they're very different.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that's gonna go, but I will say, not making videos for a bit has actually been, I feel like, I don't want to use the word healthy. I don't know, but it's
Mm-hmm.
like I have reset my I don't give a shit meter, because when I was doing raid, I'm like, all right, well, I need to make sure that I put this on a video that gets a lot of views. What's a video that could get a lot of views? How do I balance all this stuff? And now it's like I'm kind of back at my, now that I'm not getting that many views, not doing that many videos, I'm like, oh, I could breathe again. I don't
Yeah.
care what I make. I just want to make things for me. And it's actually a really nice spot to be in right now. So
I think I'm still gonna have some of that. So Half-Life 3 before P6 confirmed, probably.
yeah, right.
Yeah, and GTA 7 at this point. Yeah, I think there is it's such a balancing act. And we were talking on Discord about YouTube. Some others were talking about wanting to do more YouTube. And it's like there is a balance between the passion and the progress. And it's very fulfilling in a sense as a creator to open up a video and see it hit your number 1 out of 10 metric. Because YouTube always tells you like where it ranks in the same time period. And to see something like, oh, that video has 20,000 views, like that's insane for my channel. And it's like, cool. And I did that in a non-gacha game. And then there's also the fun of just getting to play a game that you're having fun. Like when I was doing, which one was it? Roamstead. Like, I'm so glad I managed just to luck out on the timing and get it before the last day of the beta was over, because I just genuinely enjoyed playing the game, and that became just a passion, like just a passion to play that one game. And so does it get a lot of views? No, I think that has like 200 views on it. Like it's not many, but I had a hell of a good time playing the game. And so maybe if I make guides for it later, I'll also get the views, who knows? But I don't know. You're right. Like it's fun to just do the passion side sometimes, but then it's also empowering when you get a good amount of views. Like I've never hit 100,000 views on a video like you have. Like I'm still waiting for that cool day to happen.
It feels, well, you might want to go back and if you haven't organized all your videos by views, okay, because sometimes you'll be surprised at like the legs that a video will have. But yeah, but in fact, I bet if I go look at my videos right now, the videos that are at over 100,000 views are not gacha games, probably like ever.
Yeah, because you said
maybe
it was
some
like
of them
Metaphor,
are.
maybe, right? Was your biggest one?
No, biggest one is Expedition 33
Oh,
at
okay,
over
that's
half,
what it was,
at
yeah,
over
yeah.
half million, bro.
That's insane.
I
Man.
only I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 videos above 100,000 views. And so Expedition 33, Yakuza Like a Dragon, or Infinite Wealth, Expedition 33, Expedition 33, Expedition 33, and then we get to like below 100,000, but like 80,000 is like Mugenics, Uden Chronicles, Octopath Traveler 2, Octopath Traveler 2.
Hmm.
Like then we the very first my most popular gotcha video and the only one on my first like 50 videos that is a gotcha video is Chaos Zero Nightmare is a barrel broke my game, a video that kind of popped off.
Let's see.
But it's like that's like it so it's gotcha again is like a cheat code to get a certain amount of views,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
guides for gotchas are great because it has a dedicated audience and you'll get consistently, whatever X thousand views, but it's not going to be the mainstream
So-
popping off big JRPGs.
Here's my tops. Now, granted, I've almost entirely covered gotchas aside from like some of my indie experiments. So number one, 41,000 views is build better saves than Chaos Zero Nightmare. So that was like
Chaos
right when
Zero
the game-
Nightmare
yeah.
was popping off.
Dude, it was
man.
that one.
Both of
That
them-
one did it. And then my second one, 39,000 is another CZN one. It's the Don't Do This. Then it's the Beginner's Guide for P5X at 30, just about 33,000. And then do you remember when everyone gets stuck at level 26 in P5X? I hit
Yeah,
the
yeah,
timing
I
of
do.
that one perfectly. 32,000.
I saw that video and I was like, "Fuck, that's a good idea, man."
I was
God.
just, dude, I saw it. I'm like, I stopped what I was doing. I went and filmed that like right that second. I was like, this is an idea. I got to jump on it. And then, yeah, like everything under that's, it's going to be all P5X. I've got, a bunch of CZN ones. I actually had 2 Arknight Enfield ones that hit over 20K. But like, I don't know. I just, after a minute, like I just didn't really want, like, it just didn't hit me anymore. That game. I don't know why. And then you know what else is a good one on my channel is it's 20,000 views. I still get views on this one to this day. Spiral of Destiny's Guide with tips and tricks for Sword of Convallaria. One of my earliest videos.
That game's still doing pretty well, actually. It hasn't really fallen off anymore. It has its core audience.
Okay.
But like, here's 2 points of data for you that I
Mhm.
think you will find interesting. Probably, I would say roughly 70% plus of all my videos are gotcha.
Yeah.
Maybe more than 70%, but like a large majority of my videos are specifically gotcha games. In the top 30 videos on my channel, there's only one that's from a gotcha game.
Oh, interesting.
If I look at my top 50, if I look at my top 50, where I don't even know where I have to go. Like, let's just keep looking down. Okay. The second one is like number 40 is my second gotcha game. So it's like the non-gotcha stuff way outperforms the gotcha stuff. And it's not even close.
Yeah, gotcha's
But-
consistent, but like even if you have
It
35
doesn't
million
have the ceiling.
registrations, you don't have the same. Yeah, I mean, the amount of people that are going to play the next big AAA title is just, you're going to get more views on that kind of stuff for a single video.
And that's why, like, no lifing a new JRPG when it comes out is always my top priority.
Yeah.
It's actually not because of the views, but it's because like that's what I want to do. I want to no life and I want to destroy this game and I want to consume the content. Then I can start making videos because like it could be hard to make videos for those types of games in advance. Gotchas are a little easier because there's so much cookie cutter. You could be like, okay, 2 weeks before sort of Convallaria comes out, let's talk with whales. Let's talk, let's do tier lists. Let's do that. When it's like Expedition 33, like a week before it comes out, I'm like, I don't know, Expedition 33 looks awesome. Like I'll do a couple videos to like get in the algorithm, but there's like not much. But then when it comes out, you can come up. Yeah, you just got to be fast, but.
I want to do, and we'll probably need to make this the last topic because it's been a couple hours and I got to go see the kids. But I want to do more collaborations with people. Like that's one thing I'm missing is like I love doing the podcast with you. Like it's so much fun to me. And I don't know if maybe we bring other guests on every once in a while. Maybe not every episode, but like, we plan something maybe every once in a while. Or just even like I was talking to Kage about a video I want to do with him, for example, which I'm not going to spoil what that would be. But like I had an idea that I think it would be really cool with him and I to do, and just other creators in the space. And like, there's a part of me that wants to do a video with CJ where it's like, CJ, sell me on NTE. Like take someone who played beta, who wasn't as impressed, and sell me on NTE. Just like, what are some cool collaborative ideas I can do out there that, do I think they're going to get 1 million views? Absolutely not. They're not going to go as good as like the guides do or like the next big character release or something like that. But enough that it's like a fun, worth the time of myself and whoever I'm collaborating with.
Yeah, it's like, tell me why I shouldn't be so down on the game, as down on the game as why I am.
Like here was my criticism. What do you think about
this is calling to you?
Yeah.
Bring up my list of 10 things that I didn't like about it immediately.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then ask them about every single one.
Your list might have been harsh. I'd have to go back to that podcast because I do remember us talking about your 10 on that.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what they were either, but I do remember it was a
CJ said
thing.
I'd make a slideshow. That, you know what? If you come out with a PowerPoint, that'd be the funniest thing, though. He's like, here's what the PowerPoint of why is Bear wrong is the name of the video.
Why Bear is a cub. Why Bear sucks.
Yeah, exactly. Oops, I just hit that.
Then just put a big picture of Elon Musk on the front and with Donald Trump and be like, with someone's face going, oh. That's how we're getting this. This is YouTube. I hate the YouTube game if you play it the way like you're truly supposed to.
Yo,
One, I don't think I could. I don't think I could do it anyway. I don't think I'm good enough, but still, you know.
I'm so bullish on myself sometimes that I think I could do it. But I'm in the same boat. Like I know if I spun off indie into a different channel, I could probably grow indie. I know if I spun Nintendo into its own channel, I could probably grow Nintendo. Like the strategy behind it, like you learn enough about it that you figure some parts of it out to at least like be able to start a new channel fairly consistently and well.
Yeah.
I just don't want to manage 15 fucking channels. I really don't. Like I don't want to have to keep switching between one for comments on another, you know, remembering if I'm posting on the right one, blah, blah, blah. Like it just, that sounds like a lot of stuff that I don't want to deal with.
You might be surprised because like what was my big dilemma? I was like, I might have to make a second channel to cover eugenics because it's so not in the same ballpark of what I'm covering. And it turned out that would have been probably the biggest mistake, because eugenics might have been my biggest. Expedition 33 was my biggest game where I actually had to sit there and respond to comments every day for like hours just so I could be like, oh yeah, this is so cool. But like genuinely, it was like it would have been a huge mistake to spawn a different channel. So I don't know. Sometimes it's actually not the right choice to spawn a channel, I think.
Yeah. True. And I think, I mean, to go with the whole concept, I'm not telling everybody all the details on, to go with that concept, I have to keep it in the same channel. Like it's a very specific thing. And the way I've structured it requires that it all comes back to this spot. Right. And so if I spun up different channels, the idea can't live because it requires this. Right. And I know that's like super high vagueness right there, but there's that stubborn part of me that's also like, I bet I can figure it out. I don't know how, but most of my life has been, I have no idea what the hell I'm doing and I figure it out anyways. So I'll just keep walking that damn path forward.
It's the way to do it, man.
Yeah.
It's content. There's no, look at, if there was an answer to content creation, like how to become a successful streamer, how to become a successful content creator, it would be, everyone would be doing it because it's like so many people's dream job. There's really no one path to success. So you have to discover it for yourself, you know?
You know what's one of the most successful genres or niches in YouTube at all? Like amongst ASMR? All things? Nope. How to succeed at YouTube.
I mean, I believe it.
There's so many freaking creators that's their entire channel.
People want the answer, and it's like, I don't know. That's why I have to not care. When I don't care and I just play for fun, I get better results. When I start to care and I start to squeeze too tight, then I tend to get worse results.
Oh yeah.
And I don't want this as a job because I like my pension and my benefits. To think how much money I'd have to make off YouTube to make it a job to where I feel confident enough. I would need to be at like, no joke, I would need to be at like 8K a month at least before I even considered like quitting my job for it. I would need to like double my income. Yeah, it's like because I only make like 4.2 thousand a month. If I can make 8K, then I'm like, all right, now I can pay for benefits. Now I could put so much money away. But I would still
like I just think about the benefits alone is like so crap. It's they say you want to consider $1,000 per person per month if you have to buy insurance on the open market, and there's 5 of us. Like. So, you know, that's a lot of money that I would have to make just to cover health insurance. And that's just to buy health insurance, not to pay medical bills. So like, that's why stuff like me thinking about YouTube full time.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
$6,000 deductible, you know?
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
Ugh.
So that's probably, yeah, exactly, Kage. Stick to corporate, do what you do for fun. That's exactly what I'm doing. Now, I do still want to retire into content creation when I'm 55. Like that has been a goal of mine, a dream of mine for a very long time. And I think that that is as much about what I do in my corporate job as it is about what I do in content creating, right? Like I basically just have to be able to create the funding situation to allow that to happen.
Yeah.
But I think it's doable. I don't know that I'm not going to call it easy. It's not like a free layup, but I think it's doable.
No, it's definitely doable. But that's like I'm already set up to retire at 55, not literally, but I'm on track to be able to retire, assuming I make zero money on YouTube at 55, and that's just what I'll do, and then I'll do content creation for the last 65 years of my life, however long I live.
Yeah. CJ says, unironically, the YouTube game isn't as hard as people imagine it, especially how they literally toss the analytics. Exactly. Like the thing with YouTube is most of the answers are in your face. You just don't want to hear them. And one of my favorite things, Mr. Beast said this years ago, he says that everyone blames the algorithm, but whenever you think about the algorithm, replace that with audience. And instead of saying the algorithm doesn't like me, the audience doesn't like me, whatever. And it's a very clear sign that it is truly the content you're making. And if you keep putting the same video out week after week with no changes and you expect to somehow hit 1 million views, like you're just not going to happen. Like it's not a reality. You have to make content that people want to find. You have to make content that they want to stay through, and YouTube rewards, and they've come out and like, this is from YouTube themselves. They reward videos and creators that keep people on the platform, even if it's not their own videos. Now, obviously better if it is, but like if someone watches my video and then they churn off YouTube, that's bad. If somebody watches my video and then they go to your video next, that's good because they stayed on the platform. If they stay on my next video, even better for me. But as long as they don't leave YouTube after watching my video, that's like one of YouTube's biggest things. And again, it comes down to people, and this is an exercise I need to do better at for myself, even give myself some self-criticism, is you have to know who you're trying to talk to and why are they coming to you? What is the value they're bringing? Is it entertainment? Is it guides? Is it you're teaching them finances? Like, what are you doing that person wants to look you up for and come back for? And are you delivering on that promise?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a mistake. Not every channel is Mr. Beast, like blowing up. It's like we're I filled my friend's house with 9 million pounds of jelly. Type. There's literally people that all they do is they sit in silence and repair a watch or like whittle a statue. Or
unboxing videos.
Yeah, unboxing videos. There's a video like there's a whole channel. Their whole channel is dedicated to Beyblades. Right? You can make a career out of Beyblades. So like you have to just find the audience that, and you have to make some quality content about that topic.
It can't be complete trash. Yeah.
And honestly, like one of the worst things you could possibly do, a lot of people start with, and I don't think it's a big deal to start with it, but it's like just straight like raw Let's Plays. Most of the time people don't care about watching someone they don't know play a game
and not in
general.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even if they talk, it's just like, who's like, if I'm going to go watch a Final Fantasy 12 playthrough, am I going to watch someone that I've seen other things before? Or am I going to like, I don't know, just like, I don't know, who's Joe Schmo? Sometimes you'll get some traction, but it's remarkably little.
Yeah.
Like people just don't and also putting your face on a thumbnail is a direct calculation. There is a point where it boosts your numbers. And then there is a point where no one knows who you are and no one wants to see someone they don't know who they are. Right.
Oh yeah.
Putting someone like Elon Musk or Donald Trump on a thumbnail or Asmongold or Hassan, that will push people, will see that and they'll click on it. You put my face, no one knows who I am. It'll be like, who's this guy? Like,
if I saw your face, I just have to click on it because it's you. I'm like, well, I got to see what this guy's about.
Because you know me. But if no one knows who you are, putting your face on a thumbnail will actually push people away.
Yeah.
Because they don't care who you are.
Yeah, unless like you're like looks maxing and that's the whole point of your channel or something stupid like that. All right, I got to go. Kiddos are looking for me. They've been knocking on the door, so.
Kiddos, more like dittos.
Oh,
right?
Hey. Oh, someone asked if I finished Pocopia. I have not actually finished it. I got to the point that I'm at the end and everything takes a full day to complete, and I just haven't like gone back and forth every day to do the freaking steps. But I'm like literally at the end of the game. Sorry, I forgot to answer that question earlier. But everyone, thank you for popping by. Plat, you want to sign us out?
Yeah. Here we go. Everybody, thank you for watching the Plat and the Bear.
And the cat, apparently.
And me and Bear will see you on the flip flops. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.